Misfits and dope addicts are here.
Like Chip in Riverton, who knows a bit of trivia that everyone knows. That's Sting on that show, Chip says.
Singing, I want my...
In Riverton.
Apparently, on this day?
In 1987. Oh, Carrie has the vinyl. Look at that.
I didn't realize I had the vinyl until it was too late.
That album in your hands right there, Carrie, was the first act to sell over 3 million copies of an album in the UK. That one. Top 40 singles include Money for Nothing, So Far Away, Walk of Life. You didn't know those were all on the same
Dire
album,
Straits. So that version you just played is edited.
Yeah, it's not the correct version.
Yeah, the correct version has controversial lyrics in it. And I give Mark Knopfler a pass on that because he says I am singing in as a character.
It's a character.
It's a character who talks like that.
Yeah.
And, I obviously don't believe anything that kind of character says.
No, he's embodying a moving guy.
He's playing a character.
Yeah, they move.
He was in a hardware store.
Yeah.
He said, I was in a hardware store when I wrote the song.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I was overhearing conversation, and I said to somebody in the hardware store, have you got a piece of paper and a pen? And I started writing down lyrics. He also said that he wanted to replicate the ZZ Top sound.
Yeah, he does.
And he called Dusty Baker or whoever.
Billy Gibbons.
Called Billy Gibbons, and he never really connected with him. And he says, but I think I did a pretty good job of it, even though. No, Billy Gibbons or the ZZ Top guy said he did a pretty good job of replicating it, seeing as I didn't tell him a GD thing.
Yeah, it has a ZZ Top sound to it.
I think that's maybe my favorite Dire Straits song.
But you didn't realize these songs were on that one album.
Sultans of Swing is pretty good. Is it on?
No, that's a different.
That's earlier. But the side A of this whole album is just great stuff. You got this one.
Always reminded me of Lou Reed.
Walk of Life.
You got Walk of Life.
I like hearing you pick up the needle and placing it. You're not tracking through a CD.
Nope.
You
got this one.
What is this one?
Is that Kenny G?
Give it a second.
All the late night bargains have been struck between the sudden bulls and their bells. Prehistoric garbage trucks have the city to themselves.
Your latest trick.
Oh.
Echoes and roar.
That one didn't come to mind.
They all doing a monster. The world has made you sad. Some people can be bad. Things they do, the things they say. But baby,
Yeah. It's a good album. It's not my favorite Dire Straits album.
It's not?
No.
What would you like better than all of this?
Moving Pictures.
Oh. That one had Sultans of Swing on it. No, what is on that one?
That one has...
Moving Pictures.
Let's see. I got it here.
See, is Dire Straits
Is it Moving Pictures a Rush album?
still doing stuff?
I think they retired.
Let's see.
I think Mark retired.
Money.
Oh, Making Movies, not Moving
I was going
Pictures.
to say Moving Pictures is a Rush album.
Making Movies is the name of the album.
Album cover where they're actually moving pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Move those pictures, please. Yeah, now Dire Straits has stopped. Haven't done anything since '95.
They've done enough.
I'd like more, Gina. I always want more.
Sue and I have started this thing where for dinner, during dinner, we pick an album.
Oh, yeah?
And it can't be a compilation.
Ah.
Greatest hits. It has to be an album.
I like this.
And you play it in order.
And you play it, track A to the end.
I like this idea.
And this is one that we both agree on.
I like that.
It's tonight in the Barberi household. It's Duke Ellington.
You know this one? Again, this is one that Sue and I can agree on.
Yeah.
We love this song.
His name is Mark Fruder Knopfler.
A love struck Romeo,
Oh, Romeo and Juliet.
sing the streets a serenade.
God, this sounds so much like Lou Reed, doesn't it?
A little bit.
With a love song that he made. Find the
Except he's a better singer than Lou Reed.
He talks. He doesn't sing.
You and me, babe, how about it?
So you've said, Gina, and you're wrong. Every time you say that, you're wrong.
He doesn't.
He sings in his own style.
Just love to see her take them all. No fear alone at night, she's sailing through the crowd.
Anyway.
Dire Straits. Lots of stuff. Yeah, I'm trying to see if Mark Knopfler is still. Yeah, he's still
alive.
He's still
Yeah,
going out
he's still
and
with us.
performing. But the band hasn't done anything for. Mark Fruder Knopfler is 75 years old, born in 1949 in Glasgow, Scotland.
Now that song Romeo and Juliet,
Yes.
I shouldn't talk about this on the air because it's a TV pitch that I'm making.
Carrie gives out these ideas for free.
I'm calling it the Music Video Redemption Show
Okay.
because a lot of music videos back in the day were awful,
Yes.
Yeah.
including Romeo and Juliet by Dire Straits. Terrible video. It was like made by a high schooler.
It was just inept. It wasn't because of the way it did it.
There's a line that says, "You can fall for chains of silver, fall for chains of gold," and the picture is someone holding chains of silver and chains of gold. I mean, that's how simplistic
Yeah.
it is.
Okay.
So the idea is that you find a song that had a terrible video.
Okay.
You get a new filmmaker to do it
Like a good filmmaker.
because it's
like
so inexpensive to
Yeah.
make this stuff now, and you do it as a TV show, like a reality show.
Huh.
This is him
Like a competition?
making
is
a
it
new version.
competition, or is it just
No, this is him making a new video, and this
Okay.
is the new video.
okay?
You know,
All right.
Like Billy Squire?
but as my entertainment attorney told me, he says, well, the rights to the music is going to be very expensive.
Yeah.
Already, you pitched a very expensive TV show, and I went, oh yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
they're not going to do it
Someone could redo Billy Squire's "Rock Me Tonight," the video that ruined his career.
Exactly.
because it was so sexist and awful.
No,
it's
it's
just terrible.
embarrassing.
I mean,
they really do say it's the song. It's the video that ruined.
It ruined his career.
I'll have to see it. Which one?
You don't.
He's dancing around in silk sheets.
It's Rock Me
by
Tonight.
himself.
Rock
You
Me
don't
Tonight.
even have to hear the song.
Okay.
Just go and look at it, and you'll go, "Oh my
He,
god!"
I
he
think
tears his.
I
He has a
think we
tank top on and he tears.
I think we talked about this once before, and I looked at the video
It's
here in
Yeah.
the studio.
Yep, it's awful.
Yeah.
This has been Farting Around with Carrie, Bill, and Gina on X96, Radio from Hell.
All right, we'll take that break now, and then we'll come back with your check-ins. 877-602-9696. That's the number to call. Check in with the Radio from Hell show. Perhaps you've already observed the beautiful moon in the sky. Maybe you'd like to comment on that. Anything you want to say, just say good morning, 877-602-9696. You can also text us if you like. 33986 is that number.
Zero res.
Give the gift of zero res this season. Tell you what, say your mom is hosting Thanksgiving dinner.
Yes.
Wouldn't it be nice if you said, "Mom, I'm going to have zero res come to your house and clean your carpets"?
Rather than bringing a pie.
Yeah, so I'm serious. I
Yeah.
can't bake.
Makes sense.
That would be nice.
I'm going to have zero res come over and clean your carpets, clean your upholstery, make your house look all nice. Or, do it for mom and yourself. Why not? Is your home ready for the holidays? Get it ready. You don't want grandma sitting on a dirty couch. Zero res absolutely stands behind every cleaning. Now call them today. You've got to ask for the X96 special in order to get this deal. 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $119 and 20% off your upholstery cleaning. So call my friends at Zero Res right now, 801-288-9376, or go online to zerores.com. Just make sure you ask for the X96 special. Zero Res, spell it backwards and forwards. It spells the same, zerores.com.
Shop.
We've had Katie's dog Vax here in the studio all morning. You haven't heard a peep out of him.
No,
That's because he's drugged.
that too, yeah. But he's just sleeping.
He had his
He had his nuts cut off.
well, I wasn't
Exactly.
going to say it
He
that
had
way.
he got neutered yesterday.
And did you ask to save them?
No,
Ew.
no, that's not something I ever wanted to do.
I don't know, just as a
In a jar?
Yeah.
We have an oddities shelf, but I already have his teeth up there. I think that's enough.
You have an oddities shelf.
Yeah.
What else is on your
Yeah.
oddities
We have
shelf?
a sheep's brain in a jar. We have
And
a
you're
goblin
traveling a dog
foot.
nuts?
Wait a minute. What's a goblin foot?
It's like a raccoon foot. That's just the
What
bones.
the hell? Are you sure you want to be telling people about this?
We
No, I
have
wanna know.
we have that petrified bat that I found in the studio like a year and a half ago.
I'd just like to point out that, Katie, this never came up in the interview process.
Right. I avoided that until about 4 years after you guys decided to hire me, so that way you can't get rid of me.
You know, you're telling us all of this, and I'm looking at you on the monitor where your hair is so beautifully red because of the weird lighting or
Yeah.
whatever. and I mean, and you are such a charming looking,
Aw.
just fresh,
Shucks,
wonderful
Bill.
looking person.
Thank
and
you.
you're going, well, there's a sheep's brain.
Yeah.
And-
Well, I also have my tattoos covered up because then when I do this, a lot of people are like, "Oh, she's one of those people."
You got your
You have all the accoutrements of being one of those people, and yet you don't seem to be one of those people.
You know, I
Katie
can
is her own
appear
person.
to be that way if I need to for any specific reason, like for guests or whatever. But when they get
Or
to
when
really
trying to
know
buy
me,
a sheep's brain from somebody.
that was my husband. That wasn't me. But I appear to other people. But when they get to know me, like you guys finally have at 4 years, my true side of absolute weirdness comes out.
Except you're not. You're not weird. You seem perfectly normal to me, and yet you have a sheep's brain.
I've fooled him.
I
I've
will
done
just say
it.
this: that in the future, any applicants to the Radio from Hell show, I do need. I do need you to tell us if you have an oddity shelf.
Yeah, that should
That's
be
a
a question
specific
on
question.
the.
Yeah.
Do
you have an oddity?
I also have a bat that's like encased in acrylic, and its wings are out. It's really pretty. It's really pretty, actually.
What, now you say you have this. You call it a goblin foot.
It's like a raccoon foot skeleton
Well,
thing
then-
in a
then
jar
Why do you call it a goblin foot?
because
If
it
it's a
looks terribly creepy like a goblin foot.
it is it's a raccoon foot, but it's fun to think
Yeah.
of it as a goblin.
Yeah.
I want to see a picture of it.
Okay, I'll
I
take
don't-
I'll take a picture of the oddities
I-
shelf for
okay.
you.
I
'cause
do not want you to invite me to your apartment.
That's okay. That wasn't a plan. My apartment's
Okay.
small.
Good.
If I know anything about the world today, though, if you were to present this goblin foot to the internet, it would be seen as true
Correct.
by at least 100,000 people.
Correct. Just like Bigfoot's foot imprints that they make and sell.
The goblins are real. See, she's got a goblin's
Right
foot
there.
right there.
Don't believe it? Do your research.
Right there. Do your own research.
There's also beautiful bugs and like moths that we have encased.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've had stuff like that. I mean, I had a beetle, a big beetle.
Like one of those
Carapace.
rhino beetles or something. Yeah.
and
We've got one of those.
I think it creeped my wife out and she threw it away.
Oh, they're gorgeous. I
said,
have a
where
whole
did my
thing.
beetle go?
I have a whole display that I bought for my husband for Christmas years ago, and it's really cool. It's got a stick bug in it. It's crazy.
I had a
weird little guy.
I had a keychain, which was an alligator's head.
Oh, my friend had a little alligator head when I was growing
Again,
up.
I don't know what became of that either. And I had a cane that was a bull's penis.
Okay, and you're calling me weird.
Yeah, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what became of my bull penis cane either.
Well,
Girl, are you? Have you no shame?
My
That's my
ex.
sign off, by the way.
I don't know what became of my bull penis cane. My ex-wife's grandfather had a custom slaughterhouse in Shelley, Idaho, and as a sideline, one of the things he did was make these canes. And I've talked about it on the radio before, and somebody said, "Yeah, you're not lying. I've seen them." and they sort of, it's like a big piece of jerky, but they make it into a cane, and he'd sell them on the side.
I'm sure dogs loved it.
Yeah,
You know, it's I don't. Yeah, they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. I also have like replica dinosaur teeth and a
Replica dinosaur.
I do have a piece of an actual fossil from a Triceratops frill because I love Triceratopses. So those are some of my other oddities that I'm super proud of.
And then you have another whole shelf area dedicated to plants.
Oh, that's the whole kitchen. It is. If you go to my Instagram, it is full of all of my plant updates, and it's.
What's your Instagram? Tell her.
Captain CAPT_Katie CAITY. You can go check out that, and I love my plants, and there will be more.
You don't have room to move around, do you?
Not in the kitchen, but you know it works. I like being surrounded. It's so green in the kitchen. It's great.
Let's get this over with.
All right. We really do want to hear from you. 877-602-9696. That's the number. Or you can also text us if you like, 33986. We have a sponsor to begin, Gina?
The Radio from Hell Whiskey Tour with Jimmy the Wine Guy is sold out thanks to our whiskey sponsors, including High West Distillery in Park City, featuring a flagship whiskey, Rendezvous, a blend of straight rye, Campfire, a smoky blend of straight rye bourbon, and malt Scotch whiskey.
Yeah, and thank you, everybody who quickly jumped on those tickets and will be joining us on Saturday for the walk. Thank you very much. The moon is just, it's actually not quite full. It's 99.7% full, so we'll call it full.
Full enough.
It'll be officially full like a little bit later on today. The moon will set this morning at 7:07 a.m. Today being, Friday. It's the 14th day of November in the year of our Lord Jesus. Is it? Mm-hmm. Oh, 15th. Thank you. 15th day of November in the year of our Lord Jesus Christ, 2024. It's Clean Out Your Refrigerator Day.
Oh.
Clean it out. That's my wife's, she's her job is she looks in the refrigerator and say, I have to make myself a meal. What's the oldest thing in here? We've got to get rid of it. We've got to clean it out. It's World Vasectomy Day. How it says World Vasectomy. I wonder how accepted vasectomy is worldwide. It's pretty well accepted here, I think, but I wonder how worldwide. And it's National Bunt Day, like bunt cake, Raisin Bran Cereal Day, and Camp T-Shirt Day. Camp T-shirt. So if you have a T-shirt from an old summer camp, you should wear it.
Right there.
This is the Radio from Hell show, starring the Lords of Morning Radio. That's Kerry Jackson, right there, putting on his hat. I'm Bill Allred. Never, ever went to a summer camp.
Ever?
I don't believe
Really?
so. No. Never went. I went to a Boy Scout camp once. But
I went to all kinds
I guess
of
that's
summer
a sort
camps.
of
Close
summer
enough.
camp.
Yeah.
I think my mom was trying to get rid of us in the summer. We went to
We
all
never.
kinds of camps.
We never did
I went
that.
to Mormon camp, Catholic camp, Nazarene camp,
All right.
Girl Scout camp.
Was any of it fun?
Yeah.
That's Gina Barberi right over there. I bet she can still boondoggle. Katie for short is our fine producer. She's behind me there in the producer's booth. I think Dawson is there today, and I don't know how many dogs we have in the studio.
One dog.
One dog in the
Vax
studio.
today.
It's Vax
There
today
he
in the
is.
studio.
Looking right at you.
Oh, boy. Oh.
Don't
Hi,
make
Vax.
him jump on the camera.
All right. Let's go to some check-ins.
All right, let's begin with Milo.
It's Milo in West Valley. Milo's become a regular checker-inner. Thanks for doing that, Milo.
Yeah, no problem. Just like to hear you guys in the morning. I listen to you guys the entire day, and then music the rest of the day. Podcast.
You're
You guys
loyal.
have any fun plans this weekend? Yeah, I love you guys.
We got the whiskey walk
Whiskey
tomorrow.
walk tomorrow,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's fun. Unfortunately, I won't be walking, but I will be whiskeying.
Bill will be remaining seated and whiskeying.
Listen, next time we do one, Milo, you should join us.
For sure, man. I'm down.
All right.
Party hardy, dude. Thanks a lot. Enjoyed it.
All right. Thanks, Milo.
Milo.
See ya.
No problem, man. Have a good weekend.
Rock on, Milo. Rock on.
Let's see. Mixer driver Shane checking in from Orem. Dispatcher Jordan, send me on a good load. I know you're listening. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sketchy Blake of Ogden checking in. Is it time for whiskey?
About an hour or so from now.
Yeah. Let's see. Derek from Lehigh checking in. Mike in Nashville checking in. Happy DMB Fall Tour Kickoff Day to those who celebrate. And go Utes, beat the Buffs.
That would be Dave Matthews Band fall kickoff tour.
Mishak of Erta checking in. With a grateful moon, I wish for money for nothing, chicks for free, and a drink with Jimmy.
All right, then.
All good things.
Yes. Cardboard Chris checking in. Praise the moon. Right Wing Wade checking in. Luis of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania checking in. Pittsburgh listener Mauricio Paez checking in. This may be silly to say, but listening to Yins? Pittsburghese for you all.
Ewans.
Ewans.
Yeah, in Pennsylvania,
Ewans.
the local Pennsylvania folks say Ewans.
So when you say that, it makes me happy. Johnny B checking in, listening while having a bowl of bread and milk for breakfast. I've been ready for Jimmy's spot since Monday. Rye of Orem checking in, going to the clinic for more chemo injections today. Yay.
Oh.
Sleepy Elijah checking in. Happy Steve Irwin Day.
Yes, it is.
He died today or born
I
today?
don't remember. I'll look and see here.
Arnie of Tooele. As someone who works construction all over the state, I must say Orem has the worst drivers of them all. Chef Roy checking in. Was accompanied by the beautiful full moon on my way into work today. Kevin from Layton. Tim the Tree Guy. Tree of Maine. Storm coming in today from the northeast. Cold, wet, and icy later today.
Mm-hmm.
Tom of Reno checking in. Sid from Harriman. Tristan from the most west of Jordans. I have a ticket for the whiskey walk tomorrow that I am sadly unable to use.
Oh, no.
Steve Irwin was born on this day in 1962.
The crocodile hunter.
Traveling Trav checking in from the most springy of Springvilles. Eric checking in from San Diego. Early mornings means I can check in.
That's really early in San Diego.
Mm-hmm. Chantel of Ogden. Logan the Welder. Russ checking in. Joe Dirt checking in. It looks like everybody's here.
Okay.
So let's begin. Traffic, Gina.
Well, Right Wing Wade, Infiniteam member who checks in first thing in the morning, says I-15, both lanes moving along well. Heard 41st South Mountain View corridor is moving a wee bit slowly. Thank you, Wade. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on the UDOT cameras, but Wade's not the only one that can let us know what's happening. Anybody out there is a member of the Infiniteam and can text us traffic at 33986.
Whatever state you're in, it doesn't matter.
Business owners, do you owe $15,000 or more in employment taxes and don't know what to do? McClure and Stewart, your local trusted tax attorneys. Go to McClureandStewart.com today.
All right, we're going to take a break, play a song for you. Now, this song is an On This Day, and it's kind of a deep track, so please indulge me.
All right.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's coming up, so stand by for all of that. We also have Big Boy News and Frank Christ Presents all on the way. Lim Jewelers.
I love these guys. We always love a local family-owned business, and Lim Jewelers is that in spades. 75 years they've had their jewelry store in Midvale. You should go see them. The best thing to do is go in and check out their what they have in the cases. They hand make this jewelry. And for Small Business Saturday on November 30th, it's the biggest sale ever with up to 75% off select pieces. Make your holiday gifting easy by creating a wish list. So maybe, my guess is someone in your family has said, I don't know what to get you for Christmas. You go into Lim Jewelers and say, I went in there and I picked out a few things, my wish list. You can go in and get one of those things for me. That's a nice way to do it. They have a fall-inspired jewelry if you're still looking to get some of those with the stunning colors of autumn. Custom jewelry, family-owned. Give them a call, 801-561-5462, or go see them in Midvale Lim Jewelers.
I was reading about, I've got all these news stories that I didn't get to today.
What'd you miss?
Well, there's a story about a chain of salad restaurants that I'm angry that we don't have here. Sweet Green, a popular salad restaurant chain, and
kind of like Sweet Tomatoes.
Yeah, Sweet Green. And I loved Sweet Tomatoes, and they're gone. But it's
Bill loves a salad bar.
I do. I just I'll go to the Sizzler or to the. I'm thinking I haven't been in a Chuckarama for years, but they do have a big salad bar there. Mm-hmm. Oh, you know who else has a big salad bar is that meat restaurant in Trolley Square.
That meat restaurant?
You know, the meat on
Rodeo
swords.
Grill?
Meat on swords. Yeah, I remember they had a great salad bar. Then there's the story of so there's that. Then there's the story of the train that ended up accidentally in Disneyland. Did you see that?
Train?
Disneyland Paris.
Well, Disneyland Paris.
Oh.
It was a French train carrying members of the European Parliament.
Because I have taken that train to Disneyland.
No, wait. There's an actual train that goes to Disneyland?
It's a subway,
Yeah, you take it. It's above ground, too, when you get out into the country.
You can get on downtown Paris and take the train out, and it takes you right to Disneyland.
I don't remember
Paris.
how long it takes.
I want to say about 40 minutes.
But a train carrying members of the European Parliament and their teams to Strasbourg made an unplanned detour to Disneyland Paris because they didn't switch the tracks correctly.
Oh, that could be a problem.
And they ended up, they looked out of the windows of their train and they went, we are in Marvel Land, Main Street, USA. Mont-le-Vallée. But then they said, well, why don't we just hang around for a while?
Well, we're here.
Yeah, the French, so it was an accident, but we are not a Mickey Mouse Parliament. So there was that, and you know, whatever story you want to go with is fine. It's okay if you don't like your kids most of the time, or all of the time. It's a story that says it's okay if you don't like your kids all of the time.
You love them, but you don't like them? Is that what?
Well, if you want to throw love in there, okay, fine. But
I mean, it's perfectly normal, right?
I mean, to not like your kids.
Yeah,
sometimes
they can bug you sometimes.
Oh boy, yeah, like yesterday. Jeez, I'm tempted to go into the details, but I won't. But you know, if you know, your kids will have meltdowns and tantrums, and you just want to walk away from them.
Mm-hmm.
But
they're your kids, so you can't.
Yeah,
just leave them out on the curb and go home.
You know what?
There you go.
You're lucky I'm your dad because I can't abandon you.
I have to take care of you.
Otherwise, I would.
All right, I've thought about it, and I'm done. We'll see you.
Yeah, I'm breaking up with you.
Yeah, I'm breaking. It,
yeah,
it's not me, it's you.
Mom ghosted me.
Or it's not you, it's me. However you want to take this, I don't care. Have a good life. We'll see you.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
And then here's a story I had from, like, back in 2017, I think it was.
Wow.
You haven't been able to get to this story since
No.
2017?
I think I just, what happened was I filed it and forgot I had it.
Oh.
Sad news for the restaurant world today. Tom Faulkner, the founder of Waffle House, died on Thursday at the age of 98. Mr. Faulkner's death follows quickly on the heels of his co-founder, Joe Rogers Sr., who died in March at the age of 97. The two co-founders died within days of each other. They were neighbors when they opened the very first Waffle House in Avondale Estates, Georgia in 1955. deciding on the Waffle House name because waffles were the highest margin items on the menu. Following rapid growth in the 70s and 80s, the 24-hour restaurant chain now has close to 2,000 locations throughout the southern United States where inexpensive breakfast and other comfort food is prepared right in front of you, essentially. They have that open kitchen kind of thing. And they're famous hash browns, available scattered, smothered, covered, chunked, or number of other ways. But these guys were beloved for the longest time. Now today, Waffle House is a privately held company, and Rogers' son, Joe Rogers Jr., is the chairman.
Joe Rogers Jr.
He's the chairman. And, they died within a month of each other.
And supposedly we're maybe getting a Waffle House here?
Well, there's a guy, I don't know if it was a joke or not, but there's a guy who wanted to start a GoFundMe so that he could get enough money to get a Waffle House.
Yeah, I don't think
franchise.
a GoFundMe is how you do
I don't
that.
think so. So I think that was sort of a...
Or he's just ripping people off.
I think it was sort of a joke.
Who knows?
Actually. But I don't know what... Could you Google quickly what would can you buy a Waffle House franchise?
If usually how these things work, like you can't just buy a McDonald's franchise.
No.
Like they're so valuable. It's not just a matter of having enough money to buy it. You have to prove to them that you know what you're doing. You have to have already owned some other restaurant.
You mean I can't just open up a McDonald's?
Nope.
No.
Well, it's still funny to me. Eyebrow, some of the bitches.
I was talking to...
Here it is. Although Waffle House is a franchise, it's extremely difficult to be a franchise owner. To be a franchise owner, you need to make connections within the company, and there's an extremely long wait list.
I was talking to a restaurateur some years ago, and he said, I started out with a hot dog. What's the hot dog place?
Hot dog on a stick.
No.
Der Wiener Schnitzel.
Der Wiener Schnitzel, thank you. Der Wiener Schnitzel. He said,
Glad
I
you
started...
did that because we would have gone through I don't know how many hot dog places.
Der Wiener Schnitzel, which is weird because I don't think they have schnitzel at all.
No, it's hot dogs.
Yeah, that's hot dogs. But he said I could get a franchise for Der Wiener Schnitzel pretty easy. And the reason I did it because I wanted to build up to better, and I don't remember what restaurant he was
It's a stepping
angling
stone.
for, but had to start with Der. And he said, and we did well with the Der Wiener Schnitzel. We actually ended up with 2 here in Salt Lake. And then, I won't go in. I could tell you who it is, but doesn't matter. It was the stepping stone. And now I want to go to Der Wiener Schnitzel.
There's one by Costco.
Is there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's down on 3rd West.
I know that because my mom makes me take her there.
She likes
loves Der Wiener.
What does she get?
A chili dog with onions. She loves it.
There's no way to secretly have that.
Nope.
No.
You can't hide.
No.
You can't hide that from the family.
No, you can't hide. For several hours later, you can't hide
I'd
it.
go as far as days.
Yeah, maybe.
We invited her over for dinner the other night, and she's like, "Oh, that's okay. I went to Wiener Schnitzel for lunch, and I got 2 chili dogs, and I had one for lunch, and I'm gonna have one for dinner." I'm like, Mom, come over for dinner. You can have the chili dog tomorrow for.
No, I want it while it's fresh.
It'll keep. It's got plenty of preservatives. It'll last longer
On
than
this
most
day,
of us. In 1970, Velvet Underground released their 4th studio album, Loaded, featuring a lot of great stuff. Who Loves the Sun, Head Held High, Rock and Roll, and Sweet Jane.
Didn't Cowboy Junkies do that too?
They did.
Yes, they did.
I like that.
That's why I felt justified in playing it.
It's sort of.
We
used to play the Cowboy Junkies.
Yes.
one, you know.
I would have played this one instead.
I like this one a lot.
Then one fine morning she puts on a New York station. You know she don't believe what she heard at all. She started shaking to that fine music. You know her life was saved by rock and roll.
There you go. Anyway, 1970.
Velvet Underground.
All right, so we got big boy news right now. Right after that, it's Frank Christ presents They're Fine, They're Just Fine, the Dead Celebrity Game. Going to give you a list of 4 celebrity names. 3 of those celebrities are just fine. One of them dead. Pick the dead one correctly. You will win.
You will win. Let's do Papa Roach Rise Against. I should say Rise Against tickets. Seems like everybody's winning these for the Rise Against part of this.
Yes.
But maybe you're a Papa Roach fan. But they're coming together.
Mm-hmm. So Papa Roach Rise Against 877-602-9696. All you got to do is play Frank Christ Presents. They're fine. They're just fine. After this, Big Boy News and a Pinuendo brought to you by.
Brought to you by Nightingale College, provides the opportunity for an ideal work-life balance from the comfort of your home with 100% online nursing classes and no waiting list. Become a Nightingale nurse. Apply for their upcoming spring semester at nightingale.edu.
Oh, it's so much fun. Mike Tyson, Jake Paul at the weigh-in yesterday.
Yeah.
And Mike Tyson up. So I don't know what Jake Paul did. He obviously did something.
Well, he's a turd.
You could see him. He was out of the picture. Mike's up there getting weighed, wearing some like bikini brief, and
well, the weigh-in you want to wear as little as possible.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but Mike, I mean, come on, Mike. But he then Jake Paul like jumps into the picture, must have said something to him, and Mike Tyson slapped him.
Good.
Slapped him really hard in the face. It's just the stupidest, most bizarre kind of distraction you could
and
ask
whether
for.
whoever wins or loses, they're still getting millions of dollars.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's the par for the course of most fights. Most big heavyweight fights, and both fighters get paid something. But so there you go. I guess it's tonight. I think it's tonight on Netflix. Well, he did it.
Who?
President-elect Donald Trump has elected Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to be the head of Health and Human Services.
Do we all get assigned a brainworm? Is that what happens?
Hope y'all like measles.
Listen, you make fun of the brainworm. The brainworm actually gives me some good advice from time to time. It speaks to me,
Really?
His name is Elmer. Elmer?
Aylmer.
Aylmer.
Yeah. I call him the Aylmer. He's JF Kennedy Jr., Robert F. Kennedy Jr., totally unqualified to lead the Department of Health and Human Services, said House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. I am thrilled, though, said Donald Trump, to announce Kennedy as the United States Secretary of Health and Human Services. He said, for too long, Americans have been crushed by the industrial food complex and drug companies who have engaged in deception, misinformation, and disinformation when it comes to public health. We have a lot of challenges emerging, and
I'm hoping like the CDC can push back against stuff and say, yeah, we're not doing that. That would be a national health crisis.
He's trying to sound rational now. He's saying, no, I'm not against vaccinations.
Well, we have you on tape saying you're against all vaccinations.
I think we need to, have clinical trials.
Let's talk about what
happened.
happened.
Already been clinical.
Let's talk about what happened in what you did in Samoa. Let's talk about that.
By the way, Matt Gaetz being nominated for Attorney General. He's so a lot of Republicans are saying even. He's a vile sex pest.
Yeah.
Why we can't?
No.
How could we possibly put him? in
they're going to be honest now. They've looked away for 4 years, but now they're going to be honest and say, "Oh yeah, no, we can't have that."
No, Gina, no, nobody likes him. No one in Republicans in Congress don't like him. They've never cared for him. But he gets elected by the people in his district in Florida, and so they have to say, well, okay. But that report, that ethics report that was going to be released, and
today
he resigned from Congress, and they say they won't release it. It will come out.
I hope.
Yeah, we'll see it at some point. Why is Donald Trump doing all of this? Why is he putting in for Secretary of Defense a person who's just amazingly unqualified for that job, a person who is covered with right-wing religious crusader tattoos?
Yes.
This Hedgepeth guy, he's insane for one thing.
I know why. He saw him on TV.
Well,
that's how you get the part.
I think he's
nominating.
He's nominating people who are very, very loyal.
That's all he cares about.
And people are telling him, but these people are not qualified. They're crazy. He doesn't care.
No.
Because this is going to be your test of loyalty to Donald Trump.
Exactly.
United States Congress. The Republicans control both houses. If they don't vote for these people, well, you know what? You're not loyal to Donald Trump, and that's going to be hell for you.
And he doesn't care about the country.
And
And he doesn't care about you. He cares about. He doesn't even care about his family. He has no friends.
Oh, he's got Elon.
They're not. These people are not friends.
No,
They're. He cares about one person, and that is himself.
Here's one thing that I'm shudder to think might happen. He has the power to recess Congress.
Yeah, and
then appoint all of these people.
Appoint whoever he wants. Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
I predict that's what he's going to try to do.
Yeah. This is we'll see. Let's see. Yeah, vile sex pest Matt Gaetz. I think from now on it's not Matt Gaetz. We'll just say the vile sex pest.
We all know what
that has been. Let's see the now. I want to. I don't think I have that story ready. The mayor of Midvale, he's resigned his position.
Really?
And nobody's saying exactly. Here it is. Exactly
it's
why
very
this has
vague.
happened. Marcus Stevenson, citing drastic changes to his personal life, Midvale Mayor Marcus Stevenson has abruptly resigned. The sudden departure comes, city officials said, after an allegation surfaced that he had violated state law and a city ordinance. They're not saying what that violation was.
No.
A popular first-term mayor and activist in Utah's political arena, Stevenson made the surprise announcement Thursday in a letter to city manager Matt Dahl and members of the city council. With a heavy heart, I'm submitting my resignation. Effective immediately, I've determined that it would be best for me to step away. At this time, my personal life has changed drastically. Stevenson has not responded to phone messages for further comment about what prompted his exit. So apparently, the allegation that the mayor had violated state law and a city ordinance, after conferring with council members, the city manager said the city listed a third-party law firm to conduct an investigation, which concluded that the mayor had not broken any laws. So, but they're still not saying what it is.
They're not even saying, hinting at what it would be. It's very strange.
So you can make your own speculation, which is a lot of times your speculation will be even worse than what it really is. Shelter-in-place order at a Salt Lake Elementary School, Liberty Elementary School. The police said that officers were near to the school to investigate a robbery report. So they said shelter in place because there might have been a robbery going on. But everything turned out to be okay.
Okay.
And, that's it.
That's good. Sports, weather, traffic.
Hey, guess what?
Huh.
The Jazz won last night.
The hell you say?
Really?
115-113 over the Dallas Mavericks.
Oh, I thought they were playing like a high school or something.
No, they're fine. They're just fine. They play the Kings tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Ooh, that will be more difficult for them, I suspect. Utah Hockey Club is home tonight to the Vegas Golden Knights. Puck drops bill at 7 o'clock on that. Your college football for the weekend. You've got BYU home to Kansas.
Okay.
You've got Utah State home to Hawaii. Weber State on the road at Idaho. And the Utes on the road at Colorado. They're going to go see Coach Prime and his sons.
Yep.
And it will be a snowstorm. And we keep losing our quarterbacks. So it'll probably be Isaac Wilson starting because there's nobody left. Utah by 5. I still love you. Trust me.
Stick with it.
That's your sports. Weather. So like I was saying, we're sunny half the day today, and then this evening looks like 80% chance of rain, 54 for a high, so fairly warm today. And then once things start to cool down, that rain could switch over to snow tonight into tomorrow, 80% chance of that, only a high of 40 tomorrow. Looks like Sunday is sunny and 43, and then another round of storms comes in Sunday night into Monday. Traffic, we have a crash. Adams Avenue, US 89, Washington Boulevard, has all southbound lanes closed. Some northbound lanes are also blocked. Tow truck is on the scene. Use an alternate route if you're in South Ogden right now. And the good news is that's the only thing I'm seeing. Whatever you're seeing on the roads, you can share with us and text us 33986, and I will pass it along. Brought to you by the Salt Lake Film Society. This week at Broadway Center Cinemas, check out their Mexican film festival, Film Mexico, featuring acclaimed filmmakers, emerging voices from contemporary Mexican cinema. This is starting November. Oh, it started last night, so tickets and showtimes at slfstix.org.
Frank Christ in the studio. Ladies and gentlemen, the Reaper of Celebrity Souls has joined us.
Well, hello, everyone.
Hi, Frank.
How is everyone feeling?
Great.
Really?
Just great.
Fine?
Fine. I'm just fine. Frank is here to play the game we call Frank Chris Presents.
They're fine. They're just fine.
He's given me a list of celebrities, and 3 of these celebrities are live celebrities. Frank loves them. He loves them so much.
I love our precious celebrities.
But he's tasked with, when a celebrity dies, Frank, and it's a big job because you're flying all over the world all the time. He has to go to the scene of the death and escort the celebrity's essence, or do we call it a soul, Frank?
Well, I call it essence.
It says the celebrity's essence. Escort the celebrity's essence to the distribution center, and from there, you don't know.
I don't know where they go. Heaven, hell, who knows? It's hell.
It's
95% of the time.
Yeah. Frank, do we have a contestant?
Yes, Chris is here.
Chris, good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm just fine.
Yes, you are, Chris. Chris, if you can identify the dead celebrity on this list that Frank has given me, you will win a prize, which is...
Tickets to see Papa Roach with Rise Against and Under Oath live at the Maverick Center on April 3rd.
All right, you ready to go?
Absolutely.
All right, now on this list, by the way, this is... because this is Camp T-shirt Day, these are actors who've been in movies about summer camp. You have no idea how many summer camp movies there are.
There are a lot of them.
Oh, my God. So one of these actors, unfortunately, Frank has had to take away. I'm sorry. You identify the dead celebrity, and you'll win the prize. Here we go. Number 1, Dennis Dexter Haysbert. He was in the Major League film trilogy. He was President Palmer on the TV show 24. He also appeared in the films Love Field, Navy SEALs, Heat, Waiting to Exhale, and Far From Heaven. He was the official spokesman for Allstate Insurance. His summer camp movie is Summer Camp. Number 1, Dennis Haysbert. Number 2, Tim Blake Nelson, best known for movies like Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?, Minority Report, Holes, Lincoln, and the titular character of the Ballad of Buster Scruggs. He was in the HBO series Watchmen. He was in a fat camp movie called Heavyweights. Number 2, Tim Blake Nelson. Number 3 is Peter Scolari. He co-starred in Bosom Buddies with Tom Hanks. And he was in the sitcom Newhart. He acted in the films The Rosebud Beach Hotel, Corporate Affairs, That Thing You Do, and The Polar Express. He was in the adventure comedy Camp Nowhere. Number 3, Peter Scolari. And finally, Bud Cort started his very unorthodox career starring in roles in Robert Altman's Brewster McCloud and Hal Ashby's Harold and Maude. He also had supporting roles in films like MASH, Electric Dreams, Heat, Dogma, Coyote Ugly, and The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. His camp movie was But I'm a Cheerleader. Bud Cort, number 4. Which one of those actors is dead, Chris?
Boy, I'm going to go with Haysbert, though I hope not.
Dennis Haysbert?
No, he's fine.
No.
He's just fine.
He's 70 years old, but he's still...
He's only 70 years old?
Yes.
He's well insured.
Yes, he is. He's hale and hearty, and he's in good hands.
You tried to do the voice there.
Good hands. Give you another chance, though, Chris, because unlike Frank, we believe in second chances here on the Radio from Hell show. Is it Tim Blake Nelson, Peter Scolari, or Bud Cort?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Scolari.
Yeah, Peter Scolari actually died quite young, 66.
Oh, too soon.
Yes, he was. That was back in 2021. Peter Scolari.
Out of the bosom buddies, he was the most bosom.
Yeah, he was very bosomy. So congratulations, Chris. You got it on the second try. You'll get to see Rise Against and
Papa Roach.
Yeah, Papa Roach. Hang on, and Katie will help you out. Okay.
All right, well, I've got to go check on Petula Clark.
She's still with us.
How old is Petula?
92.
God bless you, Petula.
92.
Go downtown and see if you can find her.
You may find somebody kind to help and understand you.
That's me.
Someone who is just like you and needs a gentle hand to guide them along.
Oh, Petula.
So maybe I'll see you there. We can forget all our troubles, forget all
Everybody.
our cares. So go downtown. Things will be great when you're downtown. Don't wait a minute more. Downtown. Everything's waiting for
Petula's waiting for me. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Frank. Goodbye.
Things are fine downtown. Well, not if the South Ogden. Not in that town. Crash Adams Avenue, US 89, Washington Boulevard has all southbound lanes closed and some northbound lanes also blocked. Use an alternate route through that area. That's the only accident, though. If you're seeing something, you can text us 33986.
KXRK Provo, we're going to take a break. We'll be back after these messages. Sean Means reviewing all the movies opening this weekend. We got Boner of the Day on the way. Have another drink with Jimmy the Wine Guy, Beat Gina, Real Housewives update. Full show indeed, coming up. UtahAdvocates.com.
The weather is going to change today, I think. Mm-hmm. Is that what you've been saying, Gina?
Yeah, later today. That means accidents, unfortunately, more likely to happen. I would right now, not that I'm planning on you being in an accident. That sounds terrible. But it's good to have their number in your phone in case you or a loved one is in an accident.
801-355-5550 for the Advocates. They're personal injury attorneys, and they really want to help you fight against the insurance companies. And they know how to do it better than you do. The great thing about this is if the Advocates take your case, they don't charge you any money out of pocket. Nothing for the phone call, nothing as the process goes along. They'll help you with other things, medical bills, make sure everything's taken care of because they know what they're doing. 801-355-5550. If you've been hurt in an accident, call them, or if a loved one has been. You can also visit them online and chat there, UtahAdvocates.com.
My cousin Jubal, his son Rowdy, was representing the great state of California in the National High School Rodeo Championships. Which
what's his specialty?
Saddle bronc.
Saddle, not bareback.
No, saddle bronc. I don't think they do bareback in high school. But it's called the National High School Rodeo. There were people there from Canada, from Mexico.
Those are nations.
Australia.
Yeah, those are nations. That's
from New Zealand. Mm-hmm. And next year, Italy's going to be there. Now, Rowdy's event is saddle bronc, and you don't bring your own animal for that, obviously. No. But if you are a team roper or a barrel racer, you got to have your own animal for that.
You can't rent them?
I mean, you can, but you probably want your own for that. So that means people from Australia and New Zealand were flying their horses to participate in this, to the tune of like $6,000 a pop to fly your animal.
Just think if you're a polo player.
Yeah, I mean,
you have to do the same thing
all the time. And I think some of the countries that sent people, they're not expecting people to pay that. They help them do that, but. So
how was it?
Well, so first of all, I went up with the Sainted Mary Claire, and she said, let's stay at the Little America because it's close by. They have the original Little America up there. And you guys know the story about how the Little America started.
I don't know. Earl Sinclair needed some place to.
No, he was working at a sheep ranch in Wyoming, and there was a horrible blizzard snowstorm. And he got stuck in the blizzard and had to ride it out in his truck. and he said a prayer to God and said, if I make it through tonight, I will build a hotel right where we stand. Because where the Little America is makes no sense. It is.
I've always thought that.
What do you mean it makes no sense? It's right on I-80.
It's in the middle of nowhere. It's so anyway, we're going to stay at the Little America. Well, she had a friend who also had a grandson that was participating in the rodeo who got there a day earlier and said, well, I'll stay at the Little America. She called my mom and said, we left and you also should not stay at the Little America. It's that bad. So there's a Hilton hotel in Rock Springs.
By the way, get ready for Earl Sinclair's phone call, Katie.
In well, then we might get a Hilton call too. Rock Springs. So Mary Claire goes online to make a reservation at the Hilton there, and she's looking at the reviews, and it's good review, beautiful, newly renovated hotel. This is great. And the third review down says there's bed bugs in room 202. Now, my mom, not just taking that at its word, called the hotel and said, I read online that and the manager that answered the phone said, thank you for calling and asking about that, because people can put reviews of anything they want and they can't do anything about that. By the way, I'm going to need another break to actually talk about the rodeo because we're almost out of time. But the manager said, our newly renovated hotel doesn't have screens. So if people open the window, there's flying bugs and things that come in. And this woman brought a bug up to the front desk and said, look, I have a bed bug. And the lady's like, that's got wings. That's not a bed bug there. So long story short, we stayed at the Hilton, which was nice and did not have bed bugs.
I still think you should have stayed at the Little America.
It apparently was not.
History and tradition. So you go on the word of your mom's friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd want to find out for myself.
And then we ate at a brew pub there in Rock Springs and ordered onion rings. And they brought out the onion rings, and my mom and I are eating the onion rings, and my mom said, I don't think I've ever had a bad onion ring. Usually an onion ring is pretty. It was a bad onion ring.
Usually you can do pretty well with an onion ring, but
So
there are bed bugs in these onion rings.
So we ate there at this because I'm like, well, this is the food I'm going to have, so I better eat it. Then we get to the rodeo, and if you go to my Instagram page, I have a picture of this. They had food trucks there, and guess what food truck they had there? Steak
Bed
bites.
bugs? Which one?
Steak fries?
Steak bites.
Steak bites.
I could have had steak bites for dinner at the rodeo, but I had already eaten the bad onion rings. At the food truck.
You know what they do, how they make the steak bites? It's just when an animal goes down.
No, that's not.
X96.
Jojo in Santa Quinn wants to know how that new Christmas movie is, and I said, "Well, good news.
Which one?
Have, the red one, The Rocks."
Oh.
And I said, "Good news. Sean Means is here on the phone to tell you all about it." Brought to you by the holidays can bring joy, but also financial stress. Solution Loans understands. Receive up to $3,000. Don't let money troubles ruin your celebrations. Apply online at solutionloansnow.com. Mention the word Santa for a free payment.
Well, here he is on the telephone with us, Sean Means. He's a writer and editor of the Salt Lake Tribune. sltrib.com is where you can see his work. And he's also a film critic, moviecricket.net. But Sean is on the phone because he's down there rock climbing in Moab, right? Or dune.
I'm on the road, yes.
You're dune buggying or something. Or you're hitting the dunes. Sean, I hope you're relaxing, but have you had a chance to review a couple of movies?
Yeah, we have two movies this week. One's good, the other is not.
Okay.
We will start with Red One. You've seen the ads for this, and you probably thought to yourself, "Wow, when is this going to be on Netflix?"
Yeah,
because this looks like it should be a movie on Netflix. You know, like Red Notice or one of those things, right?
Yeah.
But no, it's in movie theaters, and I have no idea why. Except that it cost a lot of money to make. It was like they're saying it's like $250 million. A lot of it because of cost overruns, which apparently some of that was because The Rock is always late to set by hours.
And he pees in bottles.
Mm-hmm.
There's that too.
Yeah.
I'll leave that to y'all. So yeah, Christmas time, North Pole, Santa Claus getting ready for the big night, and so are all the people and beings that are around him, including The Rock's character, who's the head of security, and for Santa Claus. And his character is basically, what would Dwayne Johnson look like in red and green?
Yeah,
that's about as much character development as we get.
That's the depth, huh?
Yeah. That's so Santa is played by J.K. Simmons.
All right.
And they don't even try to. And he's a Santa who works out. He's very buff, which should be funny.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
It's not. Whatever. J.K. Simmons is a great actor. I really feel sorry for him for being stuck in this thing. So it's two nights to go before Christmas Eve, and there's a security breach, and Santa Claus gets kidnapped.
Okay.
That's the get. That's
all right. Now that could be okay. It could be a way to have a funny movie.
Yeah.
Right. And then so Callum has to find Santa now, and so he's forced to find a tracker who's the one who hacked into the top secret computer systems and whatever. Anyway, the guy that helped whoever the bad guy is.
Yeah.
And the tracker, Jack O'Malley, played by Chris Evans. And here the character, the writing assignment seemed to be, what if we took all the bad guys from every Hallmark Christmas movie and put them into one guy?
Okay. Who do you
He's a
feel?
gambler.
Who do you feel worse for, him or J.K. Simmons?
I based on size of paycheck, I'd say J.K. Simmons.
Okay.
Because he's a gambler. He's a deadbeat dad. It's all every bad character trait. Sort of call it. And he hates Christmas. So of course, yeah. So they have to team up to find Santa and find out whoever it is that took him. And this is just dreadful.
Yeah,
it sounds like it.
There's no buddy cop chemistry between these guys. The computer effects are crap. Look like garbage. The story is like made out of spare parts, and the emotional stakes you're supposed to have of Jack finding his Christmas spirit. It's nonsense. It's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The only funny bit, and it's in the ads, involves Krampus. And the guy playing Krampus underneath all the makeup is Christopher Hugh, who's the big redhead guy from Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
that guy.
okay. So
and he's the only reason. He's the only half decent thing, and that's just for a minute or two. So 1.5 stars for Red One.
You're being generous, but there you go.
Possibly.
It's Christmas after all. So a real pain.
A real pain, yes. This won the screenwriting award at Sundance this year for Jesse Eisenberg. Eisenberg wrote it, directed it, and he stars in it. He plays David, and Kieran Culkin plays Benji. They're cousins who are going on a trip together to Poland to see where their late grandmother lived before she had to flee before World War II. Grandma never really talked about what happened, and so this is the cousins' chance to dig into their family history. It's not easy because David and Benji are very different. David is very uptight, neurotic, concerned about the schedule for the tour group they're on and everything. And Benji is like this live wire, joking and very grand gestures. He's very manic. And of course,
I can tell you who is who in this. I can tell you who's playing what.
Yeah, that's very definitely Culkin. And of course, being manic somewhere on the trip, you can get to see the other side of that, the depression. This is a very sharp, very well-observed comedy. There's a lot of humor in here involving the idea of tragedy tourism. This sort of tour group, tracing histories connected to the Holocaust and whatnot. But the main source of comedy is the nervous interaction between David and Benji. It's also where the tension and the drama really come through. Now, we're familiar with Eisenberg playing these neurotic types, and he does very well here. He's great. You really get a sense of the weight that David thinks he's carrying in this world. And Kieran Culkin, if you watch Succession, you already know how good Kieran Culkin is. But this just solidifies that. He's this like jagged, wounded heart of this movie, and together they're just amazing.
All right.
Okay.
So 3.5 stars.
Is
for
it
The Real
everywhere?
Pain. It's in a few theaters. I know it's at the Broadway. I think it's in a few other places. But seek it out; it's worthwhile.
All right, excellent.
There you
What now? Next week, I see we have
big week.
Two big
Gladiator and
Mhm.
Wicked. Have you seen either of those yet?
I'm seeing Gladiator 2 when I get back. Wicked, I'm going to miss. So.
Oh no.
I know. I'll have to catch up with it later, but yeah. This is Christmas's. This is winter's version of Barbenheimer. We got Gladiator 2 and we got Wicked, and you got to figure out. We have to figure out a name for this.
Wicked-ator.
I think Glindator.
Yeah.
Okay.
Glicked.
I got that. That's the best I've come up with.
Oh, Glicked. That's pretty
Glicked
good.
is good, yeah.
Glicked.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Sean Means, Salt Lake Tribune, moviecricket.net. Safe travels, and we'll see you next week.
Yep. Talk to you later.
All right. Thank you. All right.
I think Wicked's kind of review proof. Like it's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
it's gonna be huge.
It's gonna be gigantic.
Although I have read good things about it. So everything's looking good. This issue in South Ogden, it's been about a half an hour since I've heard an update on it. So if you're in that area and can let me know what's happening, Adams Avenue, US 89, Washington Boulevard. There was an accident there. I'd love a report, Infiniteam, if you can let me know what's happening there or anywhere else on the roads, and if it's safe for you to text 33986. Are you looking for ways to diversify and protect your wealth? Consider investing in Goldbacks, a local currency made of 24-karat gold, offering a physical, spendable form of wealth protection. Learn more at alpinegold.com.
All right, we've got boners coming up. Here are the candidates you'll be considering this time. Boner candidate number 1, our chocolate is not expertly crafted, and we don't use the finest ingredients. Boner candidate number 2, Operation Bear Claw. And boner candidate number 3, the truth is out there, and Lauren will find it.
Oh, yeah, I saw this. Boner of the day, big boy news, all coming up after these messages and a song. Stand by.
So I had a remote this weekend. A remote is a on-location broadcast.
And a personal appearance.
A personal appearance at Kia.
I had one, too,
Front Kia.
on Saturday.
Kia. On Riverdale Road. And while I was there, a friend of the program, Dan the driver, who texts in and calls, showed up. And he said, "Hey, Gina." And he's holding out his phone. And he said, "I want to show you something. It's a picture of us from 14 years ago."
That's an old phone.
When you were here, he said, just down the street on Riverdale Road. And I remember this.
You were dressed as a piece of bacon.
I am dressed as a piece of... Now the bacon costume, another friend of the program let me borrow her bacon costume.
That's
I don't remember why I was wearing
Can't
a
recall the
bacon
motivation.
costume.
I don't.
But I was at another business on Riverdale Road in 2010, and young Dan, the driver, came to see me there.
And now old Dan, the driver.
And now, 14 years later,
he hasn't changed up yet.
there's if you go to x96.com/live, or I actually tweeted a picture of it too, but I thought it was so cute. And he said, "I still listen every day. I've been listening since then."
You know, the same thing happened to me at my remote. Not a guy with me as a piece of bacon, but Luis, you remember Luis?
Yes, our Spanish language teacher.
Yes, he came to my remote and brought me a bottle of rum and said, here's a bottle of rum. It's from a local distiller, and I can't remember the name of the distiller now. It's not one I had heard of. Here's a bottle of rum for you, and I still listen to the show every day and tell Carrie and Gina hello from Luis. He's been listening for like 27 years. He came from L.A., 27 some odd years ago. He said, I listened to K-Rock down there, and I tried to find something like K-Rock, and I found you guys.
I also had our friend of the program, Sketchy Blake, brought his daughter, Dawson, and she had her yearbook with her. And she said, "Will you sign my yearbook?" And I'm like, "Well, sure." And we have these new, if you go to x96.com/live, you can see we have these new tiny X96 stickers. They're like the size of your thumb. And I'm like, "Oh, perfect. I'll put one of those in your yearbook. And sure, I'll sign your yearbook." And I signed it for her. But it made me think that next year, it's probably too late this year, but maybe next year at graduation
Why do
time.
people throw away their yearbooks?
Well, no, it's just kind of we should have done it a week or two ago if we were going to do it, but we should have a yearbook signing, a radio from where we broadcast from somewhere, and everybody can bring their yearbooks and we can sign them.
I think it's a great idea. And also I had a long visit from that Dawn.
Every visit from Dawn is a long visit.
But he was very he stood by the table and promoted the show.
Oh, well, that's nice.
to everybody who
He's
came
an
on.
ambassador.
Yeah, he was being an ambassador.
He was your hype man.
Yeah, for the show. He was. Because a woman came up and said, "Well, what kind of music do you play, and what kind of show do you have in the morning?" And so Dawn took over. I call in all the time, he said.
Oh, well.
And I said, "Don't tell him that, Dawn. They won't want to listen. They won't want to listen." But a lot of people came, and I was a wind and rainstorm, and I was outside.
Oh yeah, Saturday was horrible.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, it was not so bad
I'm
right
surprised
at first, but
anyone came.
by the end of the remote, it was terrible.
Where were you?
Stockton 12.
You could have gone inside.
Probably. But I decided to tough it out.
Don't they know who you are?
I decided.
Bill Allred's made of sugar. He'll melt out there in the rain.
It was okay until about the last half an hour, 45 minutes.
It was torrential downpour for
But
part of it.
when I left, that's when it really started. At 1 o'clock, and on I-15 going home, it was like you couldn't even see. But lots of people came by.
Right, right now is the best time to do that.
Oh, sign the
I'm
yearbook.
guessing sign yearbooks. All the students just either recently got the yearbook or getting them this week in the Salt Lake District.
I just think we don't have time to put together
When we can set something up,
an event. If we plan ahead next year, we can have it ready to go.
At this time next year, we're going to be fighting for our lives.
Oh.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
We won't have time for that.
We won't have time for that.
We may not have a venue.
Exactly.
Or a microphone.
So if you want to do that, if we could throw something together here in a month.
Let's see if we can get together a yearbook signing event.
This would be the time to do
today. Let's see if we can find a client who wants to host that. And we'll do a yearbook signing.
Doesn't matter the year, just any yearbook.
Any yearbook,
Yeah.
sure.
Bring it out, we'll sign it.
Yeah.
And it'll all be the same.
And it'll be a piece of history.
Have a cool summer. See you next fall.
Yeah. Don't get in too much trouble this summer.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Don't do what I would. Don't what is it? Don't do anything I would.
No, I wouldn't do.
I
Don't
wouldn't-
do anything I wouldn't do.
See you in English class.
Yeah.
You put your phone number in. You'll
Yeah.
call me sometime.
Mr. Renault sucks, huh?
Let's go to Lagoon sometime this summer. I'm going to get my high school yearbooks out and just
See what people signed in them.
yeah. I'm sure they were very pithy comments, philosophical comments of all sorts.
Oh, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. I do remember many people saying, "Don't get too drunk this summer."
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And it still applies.
It does. Don't get too
It's
drunk. This
timely.
we expect you to get drunk. Just don't get
Drunk
too
enough.
Drunk. Yeah.
Okay.
Just don't get too drunk.
You know, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but we could come up with a Radio from Hell yearbook, like with events that we've done over the year and with pictures. And is that
Well,
asking
like
too
I said,
much?
in a year from now, we're going to be
Oh.
fighting for our lives. So
So maybe not.
Steph says she'll bring her yearbook from 91.
Perfect.
Terrific.
We'll sign it.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there's some empty space in there
Yeah.
somewhere.
There is no space in mine.
No, you're very popular. Very
oh,
popular.
Man, you wouldn't. It was a weird feeling. I remember sitting there wondering, are people going to come and sign my yearbook?
Oh,
Well, they did, but it's you just kind of wondered if they would.
well, you have to go up to them and then you trade. You're like, I'll sign yours and you sign mine.
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
I remember Scott Hallowell traced the outline of a popsicle stick, and then said, "This is the outline of a popsicle stick. Have a good summer."
The hell?
There was a lot of drugs floating around my school.
Don't do too many drugs
that
over the
time.
summer.
Yeah.
May your life be like toilet paper, long and useful.
These are now we're getting yearbook sayings.
Mm-hmm. Why will you be fighting for your life in a year? Well, it'd be one of two things or two things at once.
Mm-hmm. Well, just think about
Enjoy
it.
every day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember I never liked Alan Logue.
Did he write in your yearbook?
And he wrote in my yearbook some terrible things.
Oh.
And then he can't understand why I.
He wrote terrible
He
things.
made-
And then he can't understand why I hold that against him.
To this day.
To this day. Why would you write these things in my yearbook?
Now I want to know what they say. Okay. Not nice.
No.
I don't like him.
Never liked him.
You
But
smell funny.
Somehow he got my yearbook. I did not give it to him.
Oh.
It just happened.
Jerk.
And then I hear down the road, why is Carrie holding that against me? Because you're a dick. That's why.
My guess is his life isn't going well.
I hope it's not.
I don't.
Hey, Alan, I hope you have children.
I don't hold anything against anybody that I went to high school with, but that's mainly because I don't remember them.
On this day,
In 1980, Blondie went to #1 on the charts with "The Tide Is High."
number one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Time for Boner of the Day. 3 news stories. These will be examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior, and you will decide with your vote. Of these 3 candidates, which one is the worst? Which one deserves to be Boner of the Day for today, November 15, 2024? We'll give you 2 candidates now. A third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, then you will vote. One of you lucky random boner voters will receive.
Can't buy it. Got to win it. Radio from Hell boner T-shirt.
Boner candidate number 1. Our chocolate is not expertly crafted, and we do not use the finest ingredients. It was a not-so-sweet confession. Lindt, the gourmet chocolate brand, said that its delectable goodies are not, quote, not expertly crafted with the finest ingredients, as the packaging suggests. The Swiss company confessed in an attempt to get a lawsuit against it dismissed, but it backfired when the Eastern District of New York denied the effort. Lindt found itself in a sticky situation after a U.S. consumer organization reported high levels of lead in its dark chocolate bars.
No.
The study showed that Lindt's chocolates, by the way, these are, they compared 28 different brands of chocolate bars sold in America. The study showed that Lindt's were among the 8 products found with high levels of cadmium, a chemical element that can lead to health issues with the kidney, liver, and heart, explained Australia's Better Health Council. Another Lindt chocolate bar was among 10 chocolates found with high lead levels. Customers from California, Alabama, Florida, Illinois, Nevada, New York have taken legal action against the Swiss company regarding the high amounts of lead that they have consumed. Not knowing is very dangerous. That's why it's so important to know what you're eating and to have qualified data and quantified data on the cleanliness of the positive benefits, said Brian Johnson, a biohacker with the Daily Mail. Although Lindt isn't the only brand with lead inside its goods,
What else do I need to avoid? I need to know these things.
consumers were frustrated that they were paying significantly more for chocolate, which promised quality and safe dark chocolate. The chocolate brand had very high levels of lead and cadmium. Now, to combat the accusations, Lindt's lawyers clarified, well, some of our products' components are exaggerated. You know, like the excellence and quality part and the experts' involvement in fusing the ingredients part. Disappointed by the company's actions, the Eastern District Court deemed the product to have exaggerated advertising, blustering and boasting upon which no reasonable buyer would rely. What we've learned today is several things. 1, marketing and packaging mean nothing, and it doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter the words they use or how pretty their pictures are.
And it's not
it just doesn't matter.
And it's not going to get any better in the next 4 years.
Lindt has backtracked its statement, saying, well, we only spoke less of the product to a technical legal response. Well, I mean, we didn't really mean that we weren't a fine chocolate. Oh, God. Boner candidate number 1. Our chocolate is not finely crafted, and we don't use the finest ingredients.
So I'm learning that you don't pronounce it lint, it's lead.
Lead. No more for me.
Well, where are you going to get the lead you need then?
I have plenty of lead.
Number 2, boner candidate number 2, Operation Bear Claw. A group of Los Angeles County residents were arrested after they allegedly staged bear attacks using a costume in order to receive payouts from their car insurance providers.
If you go to x96.com/live, there's an awesome picture that accompanies this story.
The investigation, which was dubbed Operation Bear Claw, found that 3 of the 4 individuals submitted similar insurance claims after a so-called bear wrecked the interior of their cars in the San Bernardino County mountain community Lake Arrowhead. This is according to a release from the Department of Insurance in California. Investigators began to look into the incident after one of the insurance companies suspected fraud, revealing that multiple claims were filed for the same location on January 28, 2024. The claimants allegedly provided videotape footage to their insurance companies of a supposed bear damaging the interior of their vehicles. The videos, all in the exact same location outside of a residence in the area, meant to show the bear entering cars, crawling around, but upon further scrutiny of the video, the investigation determined that the bear was actually a person in a bear costume.
Oh, God, I love this story.
In order to make sure that their beliefs were not unfounded, investigators sought help from a biologist at the California Department of Fish and Wildlife who reviewed all 3 videos of the phony attacks and said, that's a guy in a bear suit.
I mean, it's a good bear suit. That's a great bear suit.
So they arrested 4 suspects in the case.
I love this story.
Boner candidate number 2, Operation Bear Claw.
All right.
Coming up, boner candidate number 3, the truth is out there, and Lauren will find it.
Boner candidate number 3 coming up after this Big Boy News and Pinuendo, brought to you by
Waterproof your home with Base Coat because water can make its way through your foundation in many different ways. Base Coat specializes in a variety of permanent foundation waterproofing solutions tailored to your unique issue. From sump pumps all the way to major repairs, crack settling foundations, each solution backed by a guarantee. Schedule a free assessment today at baseco.net.
Utah Attorney General Sean Reyes, his office sued news outlets to try and keep his calendars a secret. But now 5 years of records have been released.
Well, some of them.
In a 10-day span in March of 2022, Utah Attorney General Reyes met with the Peruvian ambassador, honored the director of the TV series The Chosen, took part in an opioid discussion, had breakfast with TV's Dr. Oz, rode along serving a warrant targeting child pornography, and hit a VIP reception with U.S. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. Other work weeks weren't as hectic or star-studded, but a review of 5 years' worth of Reyes' calendar records shows how the outgoing Attorney General spent his final embattled term in office, balancing the business of the state while spending time with a cast of minor entertainment figures and scheduling meetings with dozens of business executives, some of whom had landed state contracts. These were the records that Reyes didn't want the public to see. His office sued the Salt Lake Tribune and KSL-TV, trying keeping them secret, but last week settled the lawsuits and released 5 years of calendar invites sent to or from Reyes' Outlook account.
But there are some things that we know he did because it was his picture was taken there or whatever.
Yeah,
and it's not
on the calendar.
No.
In the settlement agreement, the Attorney General's office emphasized that these calendar invites do not represent a comprehensive record of how Reyes spent his workdays, noting that he had other meetings or discussions that occurred organically or were not put on a calendar. In addition, the settlement agreement reads the calendar documents may include events or items that the Attorney General actually didn't attend or participate in, but gave him an awareness of the event's occurrences. So it turns out nothing really blockbustery, Operation Underground Railroad stuff or not much of that. There was, and Gerke talked about this yesterday, that Operation Banjo that was put forward for the state some years ago. It was supposed to be a security system that could, intercept any kind of crime. It was just this whole elaborate security thing, and some guy sold it to the state for millions. It was just a sham. It was Reyes was quite a bit involved in pushing that system.
And Gerke also said yesterday that this calendar that they're getting is heavily redacted. There's a lot of stuff that's just not there that he has fought and successfully gotten off the table.
Midvale Mayor Marcus Stevenson has resigned from office. We told you about that last hour. We've now found out why. This is about a week after he was accused of having an affair and being in violation of city policy, according to the city. The city announced Mayor Stevenson's departure Thursday. Said City Councilman Paul Glover will step in to fill mayoral duties until the council appoints a replacement. They have to do that within 30 days. A city official said the city received a complaint from Stevenson's wife on Friday that he was having an affair and in violation of city policy. The city prohibits romantic relationships between employees who work within the same chain of command. The city brought in a third-party law firm, which determined that the mayor had actually not broken the law, but they were still evaluating whether he violated the city's policy. The investigation was suspended because Mayor Stevenson said he was going to resign. And that's the reason that it happened. After Donald Trump's election victory, a Brigham Young University math professor raised a voice of warning to backers of Donald Trump. Tacking a note to his office door, David Cardin pointed to a passage from the Book of Mormon, the church's signature scripture, that cautioned if the majority of people ever choose iniquity, they could face the judgment of God and great destruction. By almost all objective standards, Donald Trump is an evil man, Cardin concluded. Now that you've made your choice, you should expect this prophecy to be fulfilled.
I don't think you can put that up if you're a teacher.
Cardin's message drew notice and criticism from the Cougar Chronicle, an independent student-run conservative newspaper. Many students in Dr. Cardin's class likely voted for President Trump. This blatant hostility shown to Trump voters thus creates a risk of sowing the seeds of dissension and conflict among his students, the paper wrote. Accusing potential students of triggering the judgment of God, placing the moral responsibility of the resulting destruction on their shoulders, is inappropriate, no matter the victor. And I would add, even if it is true. The article then invited readers to message BYU school officials about Cardin's statement. For his part, the anti-Trump BYU professor was unapologetic. He says, "There's no question that Trump is a wicked man. The list of his crimes is long. If the scriptural verse offends you, then you should also be offended by the Book of Mormon. If it offends you, you probably don't believe the Book of Mormon." He's as my mother used to say, he's cruising for a bruising here. The Real Clear Education's 2020 college free speech rankings cited church-owned BYU as the school where left-leaning students were least comfortable expressing their views.
Well, that's not surprising.
Progressives, unlike their conservative classmates, were more inclined to sit on their hands during discussions rather than raise them.
Exactly.
So it'll be interesting to see what job this professor will have in the future.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go to the crime desk now. This is a dramatic story. It's about humans, not just one human skull, but many.
Well, yesterday I had the story of one head washing up on shore in Florida.
That was nothing.
That's just one.
Mm-hmm.
As many as 20 human skulls were found in a New Mexico home after the man who lived there tossed bones out of his car while hitching a ride, according to police. Police made the grisly discovery earlier this month at a residence associated with rumors of human remains, which said some of them appeared to belong to a woman who vanished in 2019. Authorities began investigating after they received a troubling phone call from a resident who reported an unsettling encounter while offering someone a ride on November 5th. The resident claimed that the passenger, identified by police as Cecil Villanueva, made alarming statements and threw items from the vehicle, some of which appeared to be human bones. So he's hitching a ride with a bag, and while they're driving, he's tossing leg bones out of the car. Police searched the area near a convenience store and found bone fragments. They confirmed that they were human. They executed a search warrant the following day. They found a skull, a jawbone. Police said 10 to 20 human skulls were discovered during a second search of his house.
10 to 20. What?
3 days later.
Can't we get an accurate account on that?
Well, maybe they're just parts of them is the problem. The sheriff's office said the case is closely tied to the disappearance of 43-year-old Angela McManus, but that's just one
who
of
had
the
20
people.
heads. That's weird.
Yeah.
So that's all the detail. We don't know any more about
That's it so far.
Keep digging into that.
Oh, Crime Desk is keeping an eye on this.
And finally, this. Yesterday we told you that The Onion, the satirical news site, The Onion, had purchased Alex Jones' InfoWars.
Yes.
Well, Alex Jones has refused to leave the building after The Onion won the bidding for InfoWars at a bankruptcy auction. The sale price was not immediately disclosed. It's backed by families of Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting victims, whom Jones owes more than $1 billion in defamation judgments for calling the Sandy Hook massacre a hoax. The dissolution of Alex Jones' assets and the death of InfoWars is the justice we have long awaited and fought for, said Robbie Parker, whose daughter Emily was killed in the 2012 shooting in Connecticut. With the InfoWars page down and now displaying an error message, Jones has pleaded with his followers to join his new site, the Alex Jones Network. And during a bizarre analogy, he claimed that he was, quote, like a NASCAR that's 3 laps ahead, but has its wheels on fire and is coming in for a pit stop. We're going to be shut off at any moment, Jones said. Pray for us. I'm going to be here until they come and turn the lights off. I'm going to say, where's your court order?
Where's the court order? Okay,
All right,
here.
We'll bring it.
They want to silence you, the American people.
No, we want to shut you up.
There you go. Alex Jones. I think he left the building finally.
Good.
So there you go.
Weather, traffic.
Okay, 34 right now. Going to have a high of 54 today, so pretty warm before the storm. Rain mainly after 5 p.m. And could get cold enough overnight for that rain to turn over to snow. About a 90% chance of rain/snow tonight into tomorrow. Sunday looks like it will be sunny, high of 43. And then another round of storms comes through Sunday night into Monday. Another rain-snow mix for our commute on Monday morning. Traffic, let's see. We have the debris has been removed from northbound I-15 near 72nd South in Midvale. Traffic is moving again. It had been slowed down by Highway Patrol to pick that up, but seems to be moving again. You might still see some residual delays at 90th to 72nd South northbound there. And looks like that's about it. Whatever you're seeing on the roads, wherever you may be, if it's safe for you to text and let us know, please do. 33986 is where you do that. America's First Nutcracker is nostalgic, charming, and magical. Witness the historic 80th anniversary of the Nutcracker opening December 6th with magical music of Tchaikovsky, performed live by the Ballet West Orchestra. Tickets at balletwest.org.
Here's boner candidate number 3. The truth is out there, and Lauren will find it. Representative Lauren Boebert received some less than flattering coverage by a local news station this week of her return to Congress, which included asking about underwater aliens. Kyle Clark of 9 News has long covered Boebert's headline-grabbing antics and noted Wednesday night, quote, Congresswoman Lauren Boebert won her new safely Republican seat by only half the margin of her Republican predecessor.
Oh, really?
But she's already back hard at work in Congress, laser-focused on the issue that Coloradans sent her there to address, underwater space aliens. Boebert is on the House Oversight Committee, which is looking for secret government research into aliens and UFOs, which they now call UAPs, unidentified anomalous phenomena. Today, 4 self-described UAP experts testified, this is in Congress, testified to their belief that the Pentagon is hiding proof of aliens visiting the Earth. Boebert said, quote, the American people are being kept in the dark. Her line of questioning was pretty out there. Clark asked before playing a clip from the hearing. The clip reads, there are rumors that have come up to the Hill of a secretive project within the Department of Defense involving the manipulation of human genetics with what is described as non-human genetic material, potentially for the enhancement of human capabilities. You know, hybrids. Are any of you familiar with that? Yes or no? After all of the experts said no,
No.
to Bobert's question, Clark added, non-human hybrids with special capabilities. But what was not done there? She spent most of her allotted time questioning experts about alien cities and civilizations in the depths of the sea. And so, are there any accounts of UAP emerging from or submerging in our water which would indicate a base or a presence beneath the ocean's surface? Bobert said.
No.
Bobert clearly left the hearing without her answers on aliens, but said she's looking forward to working with the incoming Trump administration to get to the bottom of this alien hybrid human thing and those underwater alien cities.
Yeah, she's been watching episodes of The X-Files thinking it's a documentary.
Boner candidate number 3, the truth is out there and Lauren will find it.
Let's review the first two and vote.
Boner candidate number 1, well, no, our chocolate is not expertly crafted, and we don't use the finest ingredient. Oops, we shouldn't have said that. That's the Lindt Chocolate Company. Boner candidate number 2, Operation Bear Claw. Guy dressing up like a bear and trashing cars, hoping to get some insurance money. They were expensive cars, too. They were like Mercedes. And then boner candidate number 3, the truth is out there, and Lauren will find it.
All right. Time to vote for Boner of the Day. 1, 2, or 3. Remember your candidate number. The one that you think is the worst. The one that you think should win Boner of the Day. 1, 2, or 3. Put that single digit in the message of a text. And then text that to 33986. Or you can call Katie in the producer's booth, 877-602-9696. Or go online, x96.com. Look for the box that says Boner of the Day, November 15, 2024. Click and vote. If you don't see that box, refresh your browser. It'll appear. Click and vote. You've got about 4 minutes to get your vote in, and then it's Have Another Drink with Jimmy the Wine Guy. We're talking about our event this weekend, and you can ask him questions about adult beverages. Coming up. Right now, let's vote for your boner. Here we go.
You know how you replace a kid's animal when they die, or you try to?
Well, I don't know. How do you replace it?
You know, like their goldfish dies. And you think, I'm going to go get a new goldfish, and they'll never know the difference.
Be dishonest about it.
Well, I mean...
No, you should be honest about these things, shouldn't you?
But, well, I mean, I suppose. But I'm wondering if I can do this with a tree.
A tree?
Your kid's favorite tree?
So Muhammad...
The prophet?
No, my son, not the prophet. Got a tree, a little sapling at a field trip in first grade. They gave all the kids a sapling.
Little trees.
Okay. Well, he planted it in a pot at home, and it has lived for. He's in high school now. It has lived for years and years and years now, and he named it Sebastian.
What? Why?
All right.
He named it Sebastian.
You don't know why?
I know. It just is what he named it. And Sebastian was getting too big for the pot, so we're going to plant it up at... We have a tree farm, for God's sake. Plant it up at the tree farm.
Sebastian belongs with his own kind.
And I was up at the farm last weekend, and I noticed that Sebastian has not survived the move.
Didn't survive the transplant?
No.
Well, that happens.
I feel horrible about it.
Well,
he took care of this tree in a pot for years.
Just get an entirely different variety. Plant it there and say, that's
Sebastian.
That's Sebastian. He flourished when he came to the tree farm. He's now what he was meant to be.
No, he was in a pot inside, right?
No, outside.
Outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he was outgrown. Like the pot, it was a terracotta pot that was starting to crack.
I see.
It was too big for.
It was getting root bound.
Yeah.
And
But
that's
he
probably
didn't-
why
didn't-
he died.
And we planted it and it kind of didn't look great last year, but I'm like, oh, maybe it'll come back next year. And it's pretty clear it's just
Not coming.
Do you have any idea what variety of a tree,
I
Sebastian?
don't.
It's like, let's say it's a willow tree.
Yeah.
Replace it with a palm
Something
tree.
different.
Yeah. Or replace it with
different.
an evergreen tree and say, no, really.
No, really.
The soil here, and this is what Sebastian was meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
He's flourishing now. He's with his own kind.
I'm debating it.
There's no way you can lie about it.
I'm seeing Tim the Tree Guy today.
Oh.
I could ask him.
I know you enjoy lying to your children.
That's not lying if you're sparing feelings. That's a different thing.
I'll get you Samuel Jackson's autograph, honey. Don't worry.
It made him happy for a time.
Mm-hmm.
Someone is wondering if maybe this is a good time to teach your kid about death.
Well, he knows.
I think you ought to have a full funeral for Sebastian the Tree.
I had such hopes because what a great story someday to point to this tree and go, Mohammed, I got this tree in the first grade, and now look at
You know what?
all it is.
You know what? Not every single moment of your life is a storybook. Okay?
Well, it should be.
This is. And how long have you been putting off telling him about? How long have you known Sebastian is dead?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah, when
were you going to break it to him? On his birthday? Maybe that would be a good idea, huh?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll get you Sam Jackson's autograph.
Yeah.
Carrie, this is Samuel L. Jackson.
There you go. So,
So that's where I'm at.
Well, when are you going to tell him?
I don't know.
You have to tell him.
Yeah.
Why don't you make your husband do it?
Yeah, there you go.
You get to tell him.
This is part of the husband's job.
Yeah.
Your jobs are teaching him to drive on the freeway, because I am not doing that.
Tell him when his tree dies.
And when his tree dies.
Yeah.
Or, like I said, we could send Tim your way, and
maybe Tim could revive it. Maybe there's some tree magic.
I doubt it.
No.
That's a different guy.
Oh, tree magic.
That's the tree doctor guy that I found.
Wait a minute. The person who needs explanations for everything doesn't know why he chose the name Sebastian.
That's true.
If this were in a news story, you'd be going, why did that kid call that
Why
Sebastian?
did he name?
They left that out.
Some bad reporting
It's a perfectly
happening there.
good name for a tree.
All right. It's 7:48. Time to award boner of the day.
Every time you're hitting the balls, you get three.
Yeah, you have to sign up for the insurance, though.
Oh, I might do that.
It's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
I won't lie.
All right. Let's see. Well, it's time for to announce the winner of today's boner voting, and it's brought to you in part by. Did you say it's Barilla Tacos? Right.
Yes,
Oh,
delicious.
man, these were good. Oh.
And Feldman's Deli, Utah's authentic Jewish deli with expanded hours, now open Tuesday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 8:30 p.m., breakfast till 10:30, lunch, dinner, live music Fridays and Saturdays. More information at feldmansdeli.com.
Okay, then. Let's see. Well, boner candidate number one, Lind Chocolate, making a really stupid error in their court case, got 56 votes.
Yeah.
54 votes for boner candidate number two.
That surprises me. I thought number two would do better than the chocolate.
That's a great candidate.
It is a good candidate.
But Lauren Boebert,
Yep.
137 votes.
Yep.
The truth is out there. Lauren will find it.
Yes. That's your boner of the day for today, November 15, 2024. Now qualified to be boner of the week. That'll be decided by Dave the Flower Guy when he gets here at 9:50 this morning. He'll just pick boner of the week. Is this a sponsored feature, Gene?
Yeah, it's brought to you by Clearwater Distilling, Utah County's first distillery, open Sundays. Holidays are nearly here, so get what you need for your gifts and holiday parties. Check them out, clearwaterdistilling.com, and schedule your tasting today.
Have another drink, it'll make you feel better. Have another drink, and you'll feel alright. If you feel down and you're under the weather, have another drink, and you feel alright.
Well, he's here in the studio with us, the merciful leader of the Wine Academy of Utah. He shows mercy to all. Jimmy Santangelo. He's here. We're going to talk about the Whiskey Walk in a minute. But Jimmy, wineacademyofutah.com is
Yes.
where all of that mercy is shown.
Mm-hmm.
So the people down at Clearwater Distilling in Lehigh,
Pleasant Grove.
Pleasant Grove, adjacent to Lehigh.
Yep.
They've done something new with their cinnamon whiskey.
Yeah, so the popular Scandalous that they use, they changed the label to Canella, and it's really great, sexy label, great, same great whiskey. Just changed the packaging for us. And what I love about the cinnamon whiskey is there's no sugar added. It's not like a corn fructose-based flavoring in it. So you got real cinnamon sticks that this whiskey's aging in. And no sugar, no additives, and it's cinnamon all day, all the
That's
time.
what, like if you use it in a hot apple cider, then it's not too sweet. It just
That's
gives
right.
you that cinnamon.
Exactly. Canella is a kind of cinnamon, isn't it? Or
I believe it is.
Yeah.
It's cinnamon in Spanish.
That's
They've got. I was looking at their website. So I have a lot of fun with Clearwater, other range of spirits. When, in fact, this Sunday we're having our cigar and spirits tasting. So if you're interested in that at Clearwater at 2:00, we've got a 90-minute presentation on the etiquette of smoking, as well as we craft cocktails from. I think we're using their Wednesday whiskey, batch number 2. But this cinnamon whiskey, the Scandalous, I've made cocktails with this before.
Yes.
And they've done a really fun job on their website. They're doing a churro shot. Churro shot. I know.
That's
it
got
sounds
me
so good.
all over it.
Let's hear this.
So the
get
churro
you all
shot.
over-
Got my
get
round
all
glasses.
over
I'm
you.
getting old. This is the I like what they did here. So the cinnamon whiskey that we're talking about.
All right.
Then their Lorenz rum. So you're getting a little bit of a roundness going on there.
Okay.
And then horchata.
Yes.
Horchata. Finally, right?
Love horchata.
Shake a shake a shake. Oh, that sounds like a good Sunday morning right there.
That sounds like it would be good warm as well as cold.
Yeah, you could. Yeah. I like the cinnamon whiskey. Also, we've done it with the unfiltered apple juice. I like getting it at like Whole Foods. You know, it's that kind of component.
It's the good
It's kind of, good stuff. And that cinnamon whiskey goes good with it too.
I just looked up what is Mexican canela. The cinnamon mostly used in Mexican cuisine is called Ceylon or canela in Spanish, and it is also known as true cinnamon. It is quite different from cassia, which is mostly found in U.S. stores. However, as time moves on, one can find true cinnamon in an increasing number of stores. So canela is true cinnamon.
Well, when we had this before, we tried it, and that's what I liked about it, was that it wasn't so sickeningly sweet.
Yeah.
Where you get some of these cinnamon
true.
whiskeys, like if your Fireball and stuff like that, they're
Yeah.
a little too sweet.
They're a little way too
Where this
sweet,
was
and they got
perfect.
the additives. Yeah, they do a good job with it.
Just the right mix, you know? I want to do that horchata.
Yeah, that sounds like a good one for sure. But it's nice to be able to use, especially with the. I mean, this is just fall flavors coming out, right? So this is going to spice up a classic Manhattan for you. You're going to be able to have a whiskey on the rocks, or maybe a little bit of bitters with it. I mean, this is going to be a fun spirit for this next holiday season. I recommend. It's $29.99, so it's completely affordable. It's a $30 bottle of whiskey, the Canela, the cinnamon whiskey by Clearwater.
It's only at Clearwater, though, right? It's not
This label is at Clearwater. It's still listed under the Scandalous label through the wine store. So as soon as we start running through that inventory, then this will
replace it.
Replace it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, much nicer. All right. Let's see. Wine Academy of Utah events coming up. What do you got?
We this Sunday I'll be at Clearwater for that cigar tasting. We also have, I got a couple of coming up. Monday night, Scotch for the Sophisticate. This is through Lifelong Learning. It's 5 different drams over at the Beehive Distillery. That's where it's hosted.
So if it's for the sophisticate, that means not just anybody can do it.
Yeah, sorry, Bill, you can't go to this.
I wouldn't.
My husband can go to this.
Yes, joking.
Will you play jazz music in the background?
Wear your velvet smoking jacket. You're immediately
or a sport coat with the leather elbow patch.
Last time I tell you guys about that one. Then following next Wednesday on the 20th, Ken Garf U Club, if you're a member up there, or if not, if you want a complimentary tour and discuss membership, you can go to these dinners once a month. And then next Thursday, Leonardo Museum, Leo Libations, a multi-course wine dinner. All this information is available at thewineacademyofutah.com.
But of course, tomorrow
Tomorrow
is our whiskey and walking
Tour.
history tour.
It's
Yes.
sold out, but I think
Yes.
this seems like it was super popular, so we might talk to you about doing another one.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
But it ends at the Ruin.
Yeah, a Ruin Bar on Main Street in Salt Lake.
So if you wanted to swing by,
Not a bad idea.
swing by the Ruin.
See, I can't really walk,
Right.
so I'll come and be there at like 4.
Okay.
At the Ruin.
Yeah.
So if you want to come and have a whiskey,
Have a
with
drink
me,
with Bill.
Yeah.
Have a drink with
Yeah.
And then Carrie and I will show up at some point.
We'll show up at some point.
Excellent.
With Jimmy.
That sounds like a fantastic. I'm
And
looking
Katie's
so forward
coming
to
too,
it.
yeah.
Yep. That's going to be a
So
great
we'll
one.
all meet you at the Ruin at about 4:30.
All right.
Something like that.
I'll be there.
Fantastic.
And if you want to join us, join us. All right. Well, let's take a break. We'll continue. Have another drink with Jimmy the Wine Guy after these messages. Stand by. If you have a text question, we could probably throw one in 33986.
Looks like we've got a pretty smooth drive for you right now. I don't have any accidents that UDOT's telling me, and you haven't sent anything in via text, but you can if you see something. We appreciate it when you do. 33986. The State Room presents Making Live Music Memories. Don't miss Alan Brofman with Cherry Thomas as they perform their new album, Infinite Love, Infinite Tears, live at the State Room Friday, November 15th. Get tickets at thestateroompresents.com.
Thank you very much. All right, we will take a break. We'll be back more with Jimmy the Wine Guy after these. Have another drink with Jimmy coming up. Part 2. Also, Beat Gina is on the way. Stand by for that. ranlife.com/X96.
You can get into a home. You can upgrade the house you have, or maybe just upgrade the neighborhood you live in by moving to another one. And Rand Life can help you out with all of that. One way they do that, and Rand Life is a local mortgage company. They've had my mortgage before. So if you've been dreaming of doing that, of moving into a better house or a better neighborhood, or perhaps just upgrading what you have, go to randlife.com/X96. They can tell you all about the low interest rates that are available. You can get a 3.25% interest rate on a 3-in-1 adjustable rate mortgage for FHA and VA loans. That's really low, 3.25%. You can, that gives you serious purchasing power. It really ups your game. $190,000 or more to snag your dream home. So let Rand Life help you. Go to randlife.com/X96 to learn more.
Let's go. Sorry, it's not queued up.
That's all right.
Sorry about that.
Well, now, this is not a letter from Kyle.
Oh.
It's a letter from Kyle's daughter, Nina.
Oh.
Now, I love this
Here
song.
we go.
There was a boy, a very strange and chatty boy.
That's Kyle Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle, a longtime friend of the program. As a matter of fact, I believe his last letter sort of recounted his history. He started being on the radio with us when he was just like a high school kid and was with us for a long, long time. We found out that Kyle has ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, and that's fatal. And he's getting worse, and he can't really talk very much, so he's been sending us letters about what's going on with him. But I opened it up today, and it says it was a letter from Kyle's daughter, Nina. Ever since I met Kyle, life got interesting and full of laughs. Like the first time we met, he blew out a tire because he took a corner too fast in a BMW 3 Series on a freeway entrance when I was just 6 years old. I believe. So I think Kyle's a father to Nina by marriage. Mm-hmm. He also loved to randomly bring animals to my mom's house, which is now why we have 3 cats. One of those animals also included a 3-month-old greyhound dog.
Oh, yeah, he did like the greyhounds.
He did.
Kyle.
He called my mom 30 minutes before bringing it home saying, "Hey, a tornado's about to show up at your house." His reasoning was so that my brother and I wouldn't be so lonely since we had just moved. My personal favorite animal rescue story, though, of Kyle's is after a bike race, he went to a Taco Bell in Payson, and he saw someone selling 2 Italian greyhounds and offered them $10 for both of the dogs. And then, of course, he brought them to a good home, ours. My favorite memories, though, were when we went on family trips. We would always go to St. George to bike and hike, and he would stop and catch lizards throughout the whole trip. Last summer, we went camping in the Tetons, and there was a platform where we had our tents set up on, and my siblings and I were walking underneath the platform one night, and all of a sudden, we could hear Kyle laughing above us. Come to find out, he was laughing because he had been peeing exactly in the spot where we were now walking. On our family trips, we have stayed at some really interesting places. We were going to Bear Lake, and there were no houses to stay at. But Kyle found a place. The people who owned the house told us to bring our own water because the water of the house had sulfur in it. Well, Kyle wanted us to go exploring the property, so we all went out, and there was an unattached garage from this house, and so we thought we were going to get murdered. But in that garage, we found an LDS Prophet pumpkin carving kit.
What?
I guess you could.
That's a thing?
I guess. Would you look that up, Nick?
Yeah.
An LDS Prophet pumpkin carving kit.
Oh, I need one.
And a blank envelope with $10 in it. Kyle ended up taking the pumpkin carving kit home and used it the following Halloween. Kyle is the reason that I have had a lot of firsts that I will never forget. Kyle has taught me how to be a hard worker and to never, ever, ever give up. He lights up every room, and he has impacted so many people's lives. He's the best pretend dad ever, and I wouldn't want anyone else but Kyle to play that part in my life. And that's from Nina.
Aww.
And just to that part where Kyle has impacted so many people's lives, I had no idea, but I went to an event at, oh God, what high school is it? Anyway, it was for to honor Kyle, and there were hundreds of people there.
Mm-hmm.
Hundreds of people at this from the high school and teachers, and it was just amazing.
Yep.
Anyway.
3986.
Like Jonathan and Payson did, he said, "Tell me more about these local whiskeys." Well, sure,
Payson,
Jonathan.
you're not too far away from Clearwater there.
And the Radio from Hell Whiskey Tour, it is sold out with Jimmy the Wine Guy, but we want to thank High West Distillery and Sugar House Distillery, and Jimmy's going to tell us some more about their lovely offerings right now.
And if you have any questions for the magnanimous and beneficent leader of the Wine Academy of Utah, you can call us at 877-602-9696 or text questions to 33986. James Santangelo is here. You want to talk about these two?
Yeah, we have our two sponsors for the event tomorrow, Sugar House Distillery and High West. The Sugar House, will take them one at a time. Sugar House is the first one I poured. Right. Sugar House, this is their American single malt. Now, this is kind of a newer category in American whiskey. This is, whenever you see the words American single malt or malt on the labeling, that's going to be barley grain. And barley's the primary grain we make scotch out of. So this is kind of made in the tradition of a scotch. We're malting the barley, but then we're aging for a number of years in brand new American oak barrels. I can put up to the camera. Look at the color that's extracted on this. You need years in a barrel in Scotland to get this kind of depth of color. This whiskey comes across on the nose. A lot of grain, a lot of biscuit. It's a lot of cereal.
A lot of what?
Biscuit.
A biscuit.
Oh, biscuit.
Think of a Biscoff cookie. And it's just rarely. I was doing a tasting last night, a private gig, and people were blown away by the maltiness that was coming off of this.
This would go good with a Biscoff cookie.
Yeah, it would.
I mean, really.
It certainly would. They're doing a fine job down there at Sugar House. Their bourbon, their rye, their canned cocktail program, and of course this American single malt. Available in the wine stores, of course. They do have a package store at the distillery. This Sugar House Distillery, 42, I don't want to misquote, 46% alcohol by volume or 92 proof.
All right. So that's the first one.
The next one is High West. This is their campfire. So this is a fun
already
one.
Smell it right when you.
Yeah, it smells like a campfire.
It gets right to the nose. So this is a blend of quintessential bourbon and rye, and then you get the smoky peatiness from another blend of whiskey that has peat in it. And nobody does that. Nobody takes American whiskeys, blends it, and gets it. And this is just such a fine job of doing that. There are whiskeys out there that do have peat to them that are smoked, but this High West campfire whiskey, I think just says it all in the name. When are you going to have this? Around a campfire.
Around a campfire.
This is a sipper, great in cocktails, and I haven't revisited that.
I think I'd want that on the rocks. I'd want an ice cube in that.
It's the first time I ever had this was some years ago, and it's changed in its flavor profile,
hasn't it?
Softened up a little bit. Yeah, it softened up a little bit.
Yeah.
I've got some bottlings in the office from years back that I think when next time you're over we can sample them. And this is batch number 24E28. So there's a code there with the batch numbers, right? There's a code. It's alphanumeric, there's numbers and letters. But the 24 is the year. So a batch is when that whiskey was married, blended, and then put into this bottle. So it was put into this bottle. The batch date is 2024. E represents the month. So A for January, B for February. And then the day, the 28th. So what is that? What is E for? I don't know.
A, B, C, D, E. May.
Good job, Bill.
Used your fingers and toes.
Yeah, I used my fingers.
Job,
he went to
Bill.
college.
B, C,
You can tell.
D, E. May.
So, but that's fun. That's just fun things about
Those are good.
High West. Here are two sponsors for the whiskey tour tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be great.
Let's see. We got some questions I know in text.
We got a couple, yeah.
We can take phone calls too.
if you're-
877-602-9696.
If you hurry. Let's see. How is the cigar selection at Clearwater for your cigar?
Pretty
pairing?
good. They have a humidor. They built it in the corner there, and
walk-in.
Walk-in.
Yeah.
That's right. And they have your selection from Connecticut wraps all the way up to Maduros and some of the classic producers.
All right.
They call like in the Mavericks and stuff. That's the beer cave. We call it the cigar cave.
I like
That's a
that.
good one. What are your go-to light Jamaican, Puerto Rican, and overproofed rums?
Overproof.
What is that?
Smith and Cross. So Smith and Cross, you'll have that there. Havana Club from Cuba. You have that in the state stores. Where was I? I saw a. I can't think of it right now, but those are my two go-to for sure.
Overproof just means high proof?
Yeah, higher proof than 40. Yeah.
And finally, this. I'm 45. I've never had any alcohol.
We get this question a lot, but it's worth revisiting.
Good for you.
But after recent events, I'm considering starting. What's something that's not too heavy that an amateur like me can enjoy at home?
Yeah, so in the
It's a
wine
starter,
world, something soft and bubbly, maybe a little bit of off dryness to make it approachable. These are your Moscato d'Astis. Those are a lot of fun. And they'll have a little fizz to it. It's carbonated, it's bubbly, it's a sparkling wine category, but it's off dry and it's lower alcohol. So Moscato d'Asti.
There you go.
All right.
Well, we'll see you tomorrow, Jimmy. This is exciting. If the tickets are sold out for the tour, but you could join Bill at our final destination, the Ruin.
That'd be great.
Yeah, tour be damned.
4:30. Right in there is where we'll be.
Yeah, dress
winding
for
up.
the weather. I think we might have some weather tomorrow.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, so dress for the weather. You are Utahn, so you know how to do that.
But
when
we're
we'll be
going
walking.
to drink whiskey and walk, so we'll be warm.
I'll have you warmed on the inside.
That's the best. All right.
Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Jimmy.
WineAcademyofUtah.com. That's where you will find the generous and patient proprietor, Jimmy Santangelo.
Traffic Jam.
We've really had a good commute this morning. I don't have much to tell you about at all. Traffic was slowed northbound I-15 in Midvale, but that was done a few minutes ago and seems like it's picked back up again. That's the only thing I really have to tell you about. What do you have to tell us about? You do that via text at 33986, and I will pass it along to friends of the program. Haster Games for board games, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, miniatures, dice, paints, and more. Haster Games, 6831 South State, or HasterGames.com.
Beat Gina coming up after these messages. What is the prize, Gina?
We have tickets to the Odyssey Dance Theater's Christmas Spectacular.
So tickets to the Christmas show. If you beat Gina, well, when you play the game.
Harry.
The subject is Winston Duke trivia.
Winston.
He's
From
an actor.
Black Panther?
Yeah, he's an actor.
Okay.
He was in that Us.
Yeah, he was in a bunch of stuff. So Winston Duke trivia because it's his birthday.
Okay. Don't worry. It'll be like Black Panther.
It'll be easy. Don't worry. It's multiple choice. You can win. Get tickets to the Christmas show, 877-602-9696. Call and win. After these messages and a song. Stand by.
I have something I want to talk about.
What's that?
Yeah.
So, I'm watching The Last of Us. And don't worry, what I'm going to tell you is there's no spoiler here.
It's it's all the rage. The Last of Us, the sort of a zombie show on HBO.
And a couple of episodes, if you don't know, it's man trying to help girl get across country during
Reluctantly trying to help her.
During a zombie fungus apocalypse because she may be the cure.
By the way, she's great in that.
She really is. Yeah.
She's great. Bella
Ramsey.
Bella Ramsey.
So a couple episodes ago, they're at a gas station, and she's rooting around to see if she can find anything in there. Oh, and she finds a box of tampons. She's very excited.
Yeah.
Look at what I found! A box of tampons.
Yeah.
So there was that.
Okay.
Then, in the most recent episode that I watched,
Which is not last night's.
last
week's.
Yeah. They're getting help from some people. I won't go into who, but they give them some new clothes, and she gets gifted a menstrual cup.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because both Sue and I went, oh.
No, this is. I am so glad they are addressing.
Did they
this.
say that?
Well, they
no,
showed the
they didn't have
instructions.
to. And she's looking at it. She's like, "Oh, that's kind of gross, but cool."
It came with instructions.
Mm-hmm.
But this is something that bothered me the whole time I watched The Walking Dead. Menstruation was never addressed.
Really?
You are-
that
Yes.
you wanted menstruation to be addressed.
Yes.
Why?
Why? When
Yeah.
Katie knows
Why?
what.
Why would you want menstruation to be addressed?
You are on the run. You're going from town to town.
That's what the show's about. Yeah, it's not about menstruation.
Sometimes you have food, sometimes you don't.
Gina?
Sometimes you have water,
Gina,
sometimes you
why don't we mention menstruation in every story that's ever told?
Well, sometimes I get the menstrual cramps real hard.
Because in most stories, Bill, you just go to the drugstore and you get what you need and take care of it.
How
That's
do you know?
not available.
How do you know unless we address it?
It's easy to assume that in other stories, when life is normal, that's something that you are able to do.
Human beings are inventive, Gina, and there was a time, there hasn't always been tampons from the beginning of
I
time.
know, but it is. See, you don't understand that this is.
I understand, but it's a
I
problem.
don't think you do.
Of course I do. But why do you need to?
If
why,
you
why
if
would
you understood, you wouldn't. You would not be questioning why this is a big deal and why it's a big deal that they're addressing it in The Last of Us.
I think it's a good thing that I don't mind that they addressed it, but I don't
because your period comes whether there's zombies around or not.
I'm
And
aware
what are
of
you
this.
going to-
I know.
What are you going to do?
All right, both of you.
Yeah. Yes. The arbiter of sanity here.
I just have to remind you, it's a show.
Right.
Relax.
Right.
And I also have to remind both of you that you both complained an awful lot when the show 24 was on that he never went to the bathroom.
Yes.
All right?
It takes not
Or
even
eating,
1 second.
Or eating.
Yeah.
You didn't. I remember this was a problem for both of you.
No, because I didn't watch the show. I didn't watch the show, so I don't think that was a problem for me.
I'm
just saying that you're demanding an awful lot from your shows.
I know.
I appreciate
because the story needs to go forward.
The show is not about Jack eating
It's not an instructional manual.
It just took a second. There was barely even any dialogue about this menstrual cup.
I don't
it
know.
was just sitting there, and I'm like, yes, something I have always wondered about.
And I believe, and I could be wrong, that menstruation was addressed on Walking Dead a couple of times.
Might have been. Did they ever
watched more
because
of it
I
than
watched more of it.
You were talking today about how much you love Little House on the Prairie.
Yes.
Did they ever address menstruation on that? Huh? Back in the old times, living on the prairie? I bet they didn't.
Our historian is checking in, saying that you did in fact talk a great length about Jack on 24 not taking time for a dump.
I'm surprised because I didn't watch the show, but I guess
Now, when I got my hysterectomy, I will admit to you one of the things I was glad about is not just not having to deal with that in the regular times, but I also thought, if we ever have an apocalypse, I do not have to worry about whether there's a menstrual cup available or not. I'm good to go.
Great.
This made me
So you're more likely
happy.
to survive.
That's great.
Yes.
You can't help repopulate the human race,
No,
but
I wouldn't be helpful.
but there you go.
But the changes involved in the menopause are characteristic only of womankind.
I was thrilled.
You like that Little House on the Prairie? Didn't it bother you that they never mentioned menstruation?
The Flex Company, who makes menstrual cups, this is a story about what I was just talking about, said they saw a 400% increase in sales in the 2 days after the episode aired on HBO. 400% increase.
Maybe
Because
we
the
can't-
menstrual cup in the apocalypse, that is the preferred method.
Well, because it's reusable.
Yeah.
Reusable, and you don't. Yeah.
Is it? I don't know if you can answer this question, but I don't really know. I mean, I have a rough idea of how it works.
Yeah.
But how do you remove it without, spillage?
Well, my guess is it's not ideal for that.
It's not the greatest invention, no. It works.
I've never used one.
I'm
But
pretty
you
sure I've
rinse it
seen
out.
one in the bathroom at my house.
But you rinse it out.
Right.
And, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're on the run, you could probably just use spit.
Well, no, Bill, you could crouch next to a river. That's another.
You know, if you're in a hurry. But I
Okay.
yeah, I wonder if that somebody, because you've never used one.
I
right?
have not.
So maybe somebody. I'll ask my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know I've seen one.
She's ready for the
Yeah.
apocalypse then, if she already uses those.
I think she's ready to leave me. That's what I think. That's what I
I'm going to
think.
pack all these tampons. I need a menstrual
That's
cup.
right. I'm getting out of here.
No, Sue's weighing in. She says, I think there's a lot of women who only think that tampons and pads are the only choice for them. They may not know about the
Yeah.
The menstrual,
menstrual cup or diva cup, as I have heard it called.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
This
Well,
is
they
a
don't-
very important detail that I'm glad.
I don't think. Do they have TV commercials for it? Because there
the
used to be.
cups?
There used to be. I don't see commercials much anymore. There used to be tons of tampon commercials.
I have not seen one.
Well, they should advertise rather than depend on zombie shows.
And might I suggest radio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's affordable.
I'll bet sales of Diva cups, of menstrual cups, go up in Salt Lake City by 400% after this discussion.
The menopause may be defined simply as the cessation of menses.
Thank you.
Cessation of menses.
Oh, best thing that ever happened to me was the cessation. A crash westbound 5th South at the I-15 junction and westbound of Full in Davis County. Crash northbound I-15. This is down in Nephi. That's where I'm wondering if people are off today or something. There's not a lot of traffic, and we didn't have a lot of voting for boners.
I don't know.
Not sure what's going on, but
It's not a holiday of any sort.
I don't think so. Toyota has 20 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. Visit your Utah Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places.
Maybe everyone is fleeing the zombies that we're just not aware of.
It could be.
Also, someone has texted you how to remove them.
Oh, okay.
In in a little too much detail
Okay.
for my taste. but,
I'll
there you
take a
go.
look. Thank you,
We'll
whoever
take a
did
look.
that.
Look at that. Because on this day, in 1986, the Beastie Boys released their debut album, Licensed to Ill.
It's a hit machine.
Yes. It was the first #1 rap album on the Billboard charts and had many, many songs on it. Some you've heard too many times. And then there's this one,
I'm glad you played that.
which was used beautifully in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Beat Gina, brought to you by
Christmas Spectacular is back at the Grand Theater December 19th through the 23rd. Why go to endless Christmas productions when you can get your complete holiday fix at Odyssey Dance Theater's Christmas Spectacular? See excerpts from A Christmas Carol, It's a Wonderful Life, Elf, A Christmas Story, Home Alone, The Redux, Nutcracker, The Rockettes, and White Christmas. Details in the full lineup at x96.com.
And there'll be no sleep until you go through another episode of Beat Gina. I'm Johnny Ola with some advice for you mothers in the audience.
Oh?
When your child becomes fussy, it's because the little one is probably suffering from some physical discomfort.
Really?
Well, that means it's time for Mrs. Winslow's Soothing Syrup.
Oh.
Mrs. Winslow's Soothing Syrup should be used always when children are cutting teeth. It relieves the little sufferer at once. It produces natural, quiet sleep by relieving the child from pain, and the little cherub wakes bright as a button. It's very pleasant to taste. It soothes the child. It softens the gums. It allays all pain, relieves wind, regulates the bowels, and is the best-known remedy for diarrhea, whether arising from teething or other causes. Only 25 cents a bottle. Be sure to ask for Mrs. Winslow's Soothing Syrup and take no other kind. For sale by all druggists in every part of the world. Each bottle contains a dangerous amount of morphine and alcohol. Some infants who consume Mrs. Winslow's soothing syrup went to sleep and never woke up.
Morphine?
True story.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Mrs. Winslow's soothing syrup.
Sometimes it soothed the infants into the next world. It was really sold by all druggists in every part of the world.
Yeah, and get ready for those days again.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, always looking on the bright side, your host, Carrie Jackson.
Yeah, I just thought it was alcohol, like Carrie was saying. No, morphine.
Morphine and alcohol.
I was going to say, I thought Jimmy left us some soothing syrup, but
it's a lovely combination, morphine and alcohol.
All right, the randomizer has picked a contestant. Kathleen is here. Are you there, Kathleen? You ready to play?
I'm here.
All right.
Yeah, I'm here. Yay.
Well, let's toss a coin to see who goes first. It will give you the advantage. You call it heads or tails.
Heads.
All right, let's see what we got. It is heads.
Oh, way to go, Kathleen.
You're one step closer to winning these Odyssey Dance Theater tickets.
All right, now because you get the first question. But if Gina manages to claw her way from behind and beat you, what are you prepared to do in her name?
I'm doing a donation to the Road Home.
Nice.
Well, that's good
to hear. We met with them yesterday about our annual broadcast. And you know what they said? They said, we get donations from your listeners all year long. You guys are great. So.
All right. So, Kathleen, here we go. This first question is for you to answer exclusively with, on your own. It's multiple choice, pop culture trivia. If you get it right, you get the point. If not, I will allow Gina to answer the same question and steal your point away. And we'll go back and forth till one of you gets 3 points. Winston Duke is the actor. It's his birthday today, so it's Winston Duke trivia. He's done a few projects. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, he's very good.
Mm-hmm. All right. Winston Duke, of course, famously in Black Panther. He was a character in Black Panther. The Wakandan war cry, Yimbambe, that they all chant.
Yeah.
Is Xhosa, South African language. What does Yimbambe mean? Is it one? There's a sale at Penny's? Is it 2, hold strong? Is it 3, part of a complete breakfast? Or 4, Wakanda forever?
I'm going with, I don't know this. I'm going with 2.
Hold strong is correct.
Yes, very good. That's a point for Kathleen. Now we go to Gina.
Gina.
Yes.
Let's see. What is said to be Winston's favorite movie? Not necessarily one he's in, but just his favorite movie.
Okay.
Is it 1, The Fear City? Is it 2, Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter? Is it 3, Black Panther? Or is it 4, Rabid Grannies?
I've never heard of number 1, so I'm guessing it's number 1.
The Fear City. It's a French film.
I was trying to sound fancy. That's a French film. Is it really your favorite movie?
No. All right. Let's see, Kathleen, your question.
Yeah.
For the movie Us, which he was in, of course, Jordan Peele, the director and writer,
just rewatched that, as a matter of fact,
gave the cast 11 horror films to watch.
Homework.
So they would have a shared language when filming. I've got a list of 4 movies. One of these was not one that Jordan Peele assigned to the cast.
Not
to
on
watch.
the list of 11.
Not on the list. Is it 1?
Okay.
Is it 1, It Follows? Is it 2, Baby Cops 2, Tired and Angry? Is it 3, Jaws? Or 4, The Birds?
Let's do Baby Cops 2.
That would be a good guess. All right.
That was an easy one.
All right, it's 2-1. Gina's turn.
Gina, Winston was on a podcast, a theatrical podcast. That he did with Jason Isaacs. What is the name of that podcast?
Okay.
Was it 1, Batman Unburied? Is it 2, Punny Business? Is it 3, Laugh-A-Palooza? Or is it 4, The Wit Pit?
Batman.
Batman Unburied.
Huh.
He played Batman.
Okay.
Well, there you are.
All right.
It's 2-2. Fortunately for you, Kathleen, you control the question, so you can win it on this game. This answer.
All right, Kathleen. What was Winston Duke's breakout acting role? The one that made him a star. Is it one, Colonel Jiff in Peanut Butter or Murder? Is it two? This is a tough one. The German phone technician Gunther in Das Booth. That's a long way.
Ooh.
That's a long way. Ooh. Is it 3, Gabe Wilson in Us, or 4, M'Baku in Black Panther?
I'm going to go with 3.
Gabe Wilson in Us?
Oh.
Terribly sorry.
No, us came out after Black Panther.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is that your answer, Gina?
Yes.
Yeah.
Black Panther is
I'd
correct.
say that was a tough one.
Oh, Kathleen, you did well for. You just did well.
Well, give her the damn tickets then.
Yay! I need some of that elixir.
Yeah,
Mrs. Winslow's soothing syrup.
Believe me, we all do.
We all
there
do.
we go. It's been a bad few days.
Yeah.
It has, but hopefully your days get better because you are going to go to the Odyssey Dance Theater Christmas Spectacular.
All right.
Hang on the line, and we'll tell you how to get those. All right.
Listen, I've got to go. I gotta go shoot back a couple of shots on Mrs. Winslow's.
Amen. News brought to you by.
Would you like to gain strength, balance, flexibility, and confidence?
Sure would.
Sure, with training from United Studios of Self-Defense, you can and you will. To receive 1 week of free martial arts lessons, go to USSD, that stands for United Studios of Self-Defense, Utah.com.
Did I mention Josh Brolin last news? I don't think I did I?
No,
I had it teed up there, and then I skipped over it. Josh Brolin, he has a very serious nicotine problem.
That's what I hear.
He has tried to quit smoking, and I think he has quit, but he says he uses nicotine pouches, which I don't think that was available when I was quitting smoking. I had nicotine patches,
They're really
and I
popular.
had gum, but are they anti-smoking things, or are they?
They're both. I mean,
It's a way to get the rush, and
yeah.
So it's
so are they just little
mesh pouches? I think
be described as a pouch, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He says he even sleeps with them.
Seems not.
As
good.
Brolin told Mark Maron that he uses the pouches constantly after giving up chewing tobacco and nicotine lozenges. My wife would hear this in the middle of the night, Brolin said, imitating the sound of chewing. I don't even know how I'm doing it. I'm asleep. I have a pouch in my lip, and I'm not effing lying 24 hours a day. Nicotine pouches, as Yale Medicine explains, here we go, do not contain tobacco.
No, it's just nicotine.
They are tucked in between a person's lip or cheek and gum. See, because they used to do that with
chewing tobacco.
With chewing tobacco, they would put it in little pouches.
The skull pouches.
Skull, yeah.
This
And
isn't tobacco,
you
it's
just put a
just-
pinch between your cheek and gum. I have a pouch in my lip, and I'm not lying, 24 hours a day. So they tuck it in there. The nicotine is absorbed into the bloodstream through the mucus membranes in
How
the
would
mouth.
you sleep, though? I mean, doesn't
Gina,
that?
no,
I don't
now-
know, but
We've talked about this before. I often go to sleep with a small Hall's mentholyptus lozenge.
no. I mean, how do you sleep getting nicotine? Doesn't nicotine perk you up?
Once
don't know.
Once you have had as much nicotine, when it's constantly in your system, it doesn't do much. I'm surprised he does it because when you wake up, the first thing you want to do is have nicotine because you go, it's
I
like
want
a
more
big,
of that.
it's a big rush. Brolin shared his struggles with addiction in his new memoir, From Under the Truck. And he switched to pouches after experiencing bad side effects with nicotine lozenges. They taste like gasoline.
Well, yeah.
And they got a punch to them, he said, of the lozenges. But I used to keep them between my gum and tooth line. I got several cavities from them. That's why I switched to this, he said, adding that he's such a fan that he ended up using some questionable pouches while filming in the Middle East. We're in Jordan, and this guy comes up to me, and he says, I have some. And it has a skull and crossbones on the top, and it's like 40-milligram packets. And I said, I can't do that. And then one day I started running out, and I didn't quite run out. I probably have 4 or 5 more tins of my usual pouches left. I have this thing in my pocket, and I'm running back to the gym. He said, so I did it. Oh, my God, I'll never do it again. Man, it's such an awful addiction.
I'm
Really.
proud of you for being able to give it
Well,
up.
that's okay. I now have other addictions. Let's see. The state of Utah, now that Trump is going to be in office, will seek approval of the Northern Corridor Highway. That's the thing down in St. George that'll kill all the desert tortoises.
Oh, that's right.
You know, that one.
Yeah.
The proposed 4-lane highway would cut through the Mojave Desert tortoise habitat near St. George. Federal agencies recently recommended against building the road. But now that Trump will be in,
They're just going to pave everything.
They'll just do it again. They'll do it. And you know, okay, you get what you pay for. Laura Trump. She's Eric's wife, the wife of Donald's stupidest son, is pitching herself to be the next senator to represent
it'll
Florida,
happen.
as Marco Rubio is set to vacate his seat to become Secretary of State. This is my home state now, and it has been for 3 years.
Years.
This is where Eric and I live, and I truly do have that opportunity. It would be incredible, and no one knows better than I do the America First agenda or the goals of Donald Trump and the coming 4 years. So if I'm asked, I'd love to consider it, but I have yet to have a conversation with Governor DeSantis about it. Rudy Giuliani's lawyers are like rats trying to desert a sinking ship. His attorneys, lawyers Kenneth Caruso and David Lebowski, entered their withdrawal request into the court on
never gonna
Wednesday,
get paid.
I know, just ahead of a Friday deadline for Giuliani to surrender a number of valuable assets in order to chip away at the debt he now owes to Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss. The mother and daughter duo saw their lives completely upended after Giuliani smeared them publicly, insisting that they tried to steal the 2020 election. They sued Giuliani, and they won. He didn't have any money, so the courts have ordered him to give away almost everything except the clothes on his back, and it may even come to that. He's been avoiding it. The attorneys, they're saying, look, you know, we're trying to give him the best advice we can given the situation, and he ignores that.
Yeah, he thinks he's smarter than.
So, don't want to do it.
All right.
And is that it?
Unless you have a light ending.
I was going to say that there's a woman who testified to an ethics committee, the one that was looking into Matt Gaetz, that she had sex with Matt Gaetz when she was 17.
Yep.
Oh, excuse me, that vile sexual pest?
Sex pest.
The vile sex pest, Matt Gaetz. She said, yeah, that was me. The sex trafficking thing, that was me.
Mm-hmm.
And
so it happened.
That's part of the report. So,
yep.
All right,
Sports, weather, traffic.
Hey, guys, the Jazz won. They beat the Dallas Mavericks 115 to 113. They play the Kings tomorrow. They probably won't win that one. That one starts at 8 o'clock. Let's see. Utah Hockey Club is home tonight to Vegas Golden Knights. Puck drops at 7, Bill.
Okay.
And for your college football, you've got Brigham Young home to Kansas. You have Utah State home to Hawaii, and Weber State will be on the road at Idaho. The Utes, my beloved Utes, I love you no matter what, on the road. Early game, it's like at 10 a.m. on Saturday, which is nice. I'll be able to watch it before we go do our whiskey. Well, they're playing Colorado, the Buffaloes, Coach Prime. And then the weather will probably be bad. It'll be great. I'm sure it'll be great. It'll be fine. It'll be just fine.
Sure it will.
Weather. Right now it's 34. We'll have a high of 54 today. Then around 2 o'clock, that's when the rain could start up. About an 80% chance of that today. And it could get cold enough overnight that turns over to snow. Chance of snow Saturday, about 80%. Looks like, Carrie, before our walk, that might stop, but it will have been snowing and raining and cold, so dress accordingly.
I will.
It won't be raining and snowing and cold in the ruin.
No, it will
where I
be
will
nice
be
and warm in there. Let's see, traffic.
Damn it.
You still get to do the drinking part.
I know.
Let's see. It looks like we have a little bit of an issue in American Fork. I can't tell whether it's a accident or something else. A little bit of a slowdown there just as you enter Lehigh. Other than that, things seem to be moving well. You haven't sent in anything via text, but you certainly can if you see something. 33986. Clark Planetarium proudly presents Laser Trans-Siberian Orchestra, a holiday music journey, November 22nd through December 31st. Don't miss this breathtaking laser light spectacle at the Hanson Dome Theater. Get tickets at clarkplanetarium.org.
All right, we will take a break. We will be back after these messages with the Real Housewives of Salt Lake update. Stand by.
I brought this in, Gina, in case you need it.
What? In case
What is
I
that?
need it.
It's a blood pressure. It's a blood pressure cuff.
Oh.
You want to take your blood pressure?
So yesterday, I started a blood pressure medication.
Which one?
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one. She's
Hold,
having
please.
a stroke. That's why
it's news. So.
It's
It's new. It's Lisinopril. Lisinopril.
Okay.
I'm taking my blood pressure right now.
And it worked when I took my blood pressure this morning. It was lower, so I think I'm good.
Damn, this cuff is acting up.
But my doctor wants me to come in a week and check it, and she wants me to have a fasting blood test, which I hate.
What's a fasting blood?
You just have to
Can't
fast.
you have to fast before you have the blood test? So
Really?
yeah.
Oh.
You can't even have like.
So you don't eat any dinner, and then when you get off work, you go have your blood test.
Oh.
So
You can't
Gina
have
will
like.
have to go almost 12 hours without eating.
I can't even have like coffee with my vanilla latte. I could have black coffee, but I
Well,
don't drink that.
I'm 132/67, and my pulse is 52. That's not too bad.
No, that's not too bad.
That's because
So
I
should we
take all.
check mine?
Sure. You know how to work these? You just put it. You have to hold your wrist like that. So and then just hit start.
Okay.
So put it on and. But you have to keep your arm in line with your. This is really fascinating radio.
I was going to say, we got Utah word of the day here.
Wait, hold on.
Well, it'll take a second.
Okay. Well, what are the results?
Gina's blood pressure was 162/100.
It's not good.
Do we need to call an ambulance?
That's terrible.
I only have had one pill. One pill's not going to fix it.
I would say you need to throw that medication away and get something new.
So I've only taken one pill.
162/100. You're only taking one?
Yeah.
Because I take I think 2 different blood pressure medications.
Well, she had me. She's like, let's just try this.
Trying to find the sweet spot?
Yeah.
Yeah, as I recall, I had to mess around with it for a while too.
Yeah.
And it's probably nothing other than it's probably age related.
Great.
Means you're getting old, baby. Sorry. Your pulse, your heart rate was 70, which is, I don't know. Mine's always really low, so I don't know where 70. How that falls on the scale.
Maybe I have white coat syndrome.
What?
Yeah, it's
Where
when
you get nervous when
you got
you-
nervous
yeah.
because you thought I was a doctor.
Yeah.
Is that right? That's no. I think you have white man syndrome.
That's
what
it.
is.
I get afraid when I'm around white men.
Yeah.
Yes, now the chat room is reacting. Demetra, who's familiar with these sort of things, my fingers were shocked by Gina's blood pressure.
Yeah.
Let's see. What was mine? 132/67. How's that, Demetra? That's pretty good, isn't it? It's not bad.
Well, Guy has found a category.
Oh, where do I fall?
Well, let's see. Normal is the systolic is less than 20, and the diastolic is less than 80. That's normal. Elevated is 120 to 129 and less than 80.
Nope.
High blood pressure is 130 to 139 or 80 to 89.
So my systolic is a little high, but my diastole is it's okay. So I'm not bad.
Hypertension stage 2 is 140 or higher or 90 or higher with the diastolic. And hypertensive crisis, contact your doctor immediately.
You should call him now, Gina.
Is higher than 180 and higher than 120.
I'm not
with the
quite there
diastolic.
yet.
I mean her.
You're getting there.
I'm going to have to take mine again now because they say you should do it more than once, Second time I've taken it, 112/67. That's really.
Oh, look, Travis the
That's
Pieman's
good.
on my same medication. He says
He's been hospitalized repeatedly.
he said it took a few days to kick in. My doctor said it can take up to 5 days.
Okay. Is this a sponsored feature, Gina?
Yeah, it's time for holiday shopping. That means stopping by Cabin Fever since 1982. It's Cabin Fever located in the heart of Charlie Square. Cabin Fever, so much more than a card store.
Well, here she is from the hog butcher for the world, the stormy, husky, brawling city of the big shoulders, Chicago, Illinois. She's Victoria, and she's here because we don't really want to watch the Real Housewives of Salt Lake, and so she watches it and kind of tells us what's going on so we're not completely clueless. Hi, Victoria.
No. Hi, and I think I make it more entertaining.
You
but
do,
what do
for
I
sure.
know?
Absolutely.
So what is this episode?
We're episode 9. It's called "Revenge is Best Served in Coach," which is my favorite title so far. I know I've been complaining about the titles of the episodes, and this is my favorite, which I'll explain. So it's a supersized episode. For those who care, like I said, I love this title. We are still in Palm Springs on the couples trip, and then we are officially halfway through because we got the "Still to Come This Season On" trailer at the end of the episode.
Oh.
So I think we're about halfway through. Yes. All right. So here are the key takeaways, and here's how I'm going to organize my recap of the episode. So first, I want to say leave Bronwyn alone. Second, Lisa officially sucks. And then Sean, Seth, and Justin are weenies, and those are some of the husbands.
Oh, okay.
Let's start with leave Bronwyn alone. So she is the new housewife, and of course she's going to get picked on, but I really think they're all going too far on this. I do think Bronwyn can handle it, but it's too much. So they're in Palm Springs. This is her party that she's hosting. They have been very judgy about her relationship with her husband.
Yeah.
She and her husband are 26 years apart. But that doesn't mean they can't have a legit relationship or the relationship they want. And so they have to keep bringing that up. And they are starting to think that they don't love the dynamic. Her husband's name is Todd. They don't love the dynamic between her and Todd. And it's mostly in confessional that we're getting right now, their thoughts about the relationship. And so I think there's going to be some confrontations down the line.
Does anybody ever say, "What business is it of yours"?
They do. Like Bronwyn, it was one of the first 3 episodes. Bronwyn was really good at shutting that down and putting them in their place, which I think they struggle with. But yes, she's been good about that.
Okay.
So, and then the big thing that happens this week. So one of the things I've mentioned is this thing that Bronwyn has going on with her baby daddy's family that wants to be in contact with her daughter now. And Lisa, one of the housewives, got involved. And so they're sitting around dinner, all the couples, and they're talking about this. And Bronwyn has told us in confessional that her husband is very protective of her and her daughter and doesn't want any of this to happen, and the daughter to get in contact with the baby daddy's family, because he doesn't think they've been very nice, because they haven't. So they're sitting at dinner, and Angie brings this up, and it creates a lot of tension because Todd does not want this talked about. And so he keeps talking over Bronwyn, and he keeps correcting what she's saying, and I don't love that for their relationship.
No.
Yeah.
But I do think it's coming from a protective place, and he should let her have her moment. But I do also think he does not think this should even be on the show.
Well, it
And
probably
so,
shouldn't. I like what I like about the show is the silly stuff that doesn't really matter. This seems almost too serious.
Yes, and that's what I totally agree with you, Gina, and that's what this is kind of stinky. But
Well, what do you do when your husband does that to you?
It depends on the day. It's either shutting down or lashing out.
Okay, just wondered.
Yeah. So please leave Bronwyn alone. And also, I just love her. She had a mariachi band at their anniversary party. They played all the hits. We got to hear everything. So leave Bronwyn alone. This is the worst. And this is the funniest. I guess this is like the silly stuff we can judge, but also Lisa sucks. So she has a complete meltdown because she can't fly home first class.
Why not?
So what happened was they flew to Palm Springs on Bronwyn and her husband's private jet, but for some reason they can't take the private jet home. And so Bronwyn booked them all commercial flights. And so Bronwyn booked the seats, and she put her and her husband in first class, of course, but I guess there weren't many first class seats on the plane, and so everybody just got whatever was available. And so the flight's booked. And so Lisa and her husband are stuck in coach, and she says, I haven't flown coach since college. She legit has a breakdown, and it's gross. Because they were just talking about how they missed their kid and they were so excited to get home. And then she finds out she's in coach, and now she is frantically trying to find either a different flight or a different seat.
This is like an hour and a half.
I was going to say, it's from Palm Springs
Exactly.
to Salt Lake. It's not
yes.
far.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's what they kept saying. I think it was a 50-minute flight, like it wasn't very long, or something like that. Anyway, and so, I do feel bad for her husband. He sincerely is like, don't you want to get home? And she's like, no, I'd rather wait longer and fly in a bigger seat. It's so gross.
These are horrible
It's
people.
disgusting.
Yes.
They're
Horrible
horrible.
people.
And I will say something similar happened on the Real Housewives of New York last season, but I will forgive Jenna way before I'll forgive Lisa.
Well, I don't blame you.
I knew you'd get me, Bill.
I get you.
So,
I understand, girlfriend.
yes, you did. So the next is the husbands are weenies, specifically Sean, Seth, and Justin. So I will say, without going into a lot of detail, they play a version of the Newlywed Game, and the husbands are lazy based on some of their responses. So, and then I really don't, again, like this is getting into the icky territory of, I like to watch the women bicker and like have their, issues, but we're getting into these conflicts with men versus the women. And so we've got a fight going on with Sean and Meredith. We've got a fight going on with Justin and Lisa. And then at dinner, Whitney's, I think, actually having a conversation with Meredith. And Seth, her husband, pulls up that they want to see receipts or proof. And so he pulls up something on his phone, and he yells at Whitney across the table. He yells, proof, biatch, and he says biatch.
Oh.
And no one says anything. Whitney's husband doesn't say anything. Meredith's husband doesn't say anything. They all just sit there. And this is not good. This is not a good look. And Whitney does say something like, did you just call me a biatch? Anyway, I don't like this, and I don't think I've seen anything as bad as this on other franchises. So they're weenies.
Oh, so it'll be more popular than ever.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yes. It doesn't help with the state of the world. At the risk of starting stuff, I do want to mention something. So Mary and Heather did not go on the trip with the other ladies and the couples. So we get a moment where Mary goes to talk to her son. So Mary's son still lives at home. He's maybe married. They keep putting his wife in quotes. And so she goes into their bedroom, and they're sitting in bed eating. And they look very young. I think they're maybe 21. And I noticed that his wife, her blush looked really weird. I'm like, does she not know how to put on makeup? But I think she has a black eye. And again, the risk of starting something, I didn't want to post this because I don't want, it's icky. If it's true, this is horrible. But we do see some drama coming that Mary says there's going to be an issue with her son. And so it made me worried because the vibe was very strange. And again, we're possibly getting into some icky territory.
What were they eating?
Fast food.
That's what you care about?
Well, I mean, there might be a clue there.
Oh, okay.
As to what was going on.
It was so weird because Mary goes into their bedroom and they're sitting in bed eating and there's no conversation. And Mary's like, so we're just eating now? And they said, yep. It was very stilted. And
weird.
So it was very weird. But again, I hope nothing's going on. If someone wants to see the still I took, DM me.
Okay.
Okay. Do we have time for quotes?
A couple, yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. So here's, again, Bronwyn I think is the star. She says, I could have sworn I was about to get an apology from Lisa, but it takes Lisa so long to get an apology, but that by the time we get there, someone else is mad at her for something totally different. And so they're at the dinner table, and Lisa is on the verge of apologizing, and then Whitney makes it about her. Of course, Whitney always makes it about her, and then now they're arguing. And then this is Lisa's, so smart comeback. There's more proof in my tequila than comes out of you.
Hi-oh!
So,
hey.
Oh.
Exactly.
Hey.
And then Bronwyn, all we needed was John Barlow to tell us that's the end, and it would tie this all up with a pretty little bow. All we need was the men to come and solve all our silly women problems. because he's trying to like settle one of the fights. And I will say production made this amazing cut. So Bronwyn says this in confession, like, "Oh, thank goodness we have John Barlow." And they cut to like the credits, and it says "next time" on the Real Housewives. And so they made it seem like that was the end of the episode. I thought that was kind of clever. And then we get, this is Bronwyn's husband. They're at their anniversary party. He's introducing people and explaining why everyone's there. And he says those guys own a tequila company, Mediocre Tequila. So that's his shade at Lisa and John.
Well, that's not the brand name. Okay, all right.
No. Oh my God. Is that what Levita, or is it? Yeah, is it Levita? No.
Maybe that's what it means.
Is that what Levita translates to?
Could be.
I don't know. All right, so our drinking game this week is Soy Yo. I'm the problem, Soy Yo. Take a drink each time someone says husband. I'm, again, like, and it's a lot. I'm so over them being so involved. And so the only way I can deal with this right now is by drinking.
Exactly.
And hoping that this passes, the whole husband storyline thing.
I hope it does too, because I don't like them either now. Weenies.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, Victoria. How can people find you?
Follow me on Instagram at Judgy Empath.
All right. Thank you, Victoria.
Bye.
We'll see you.
Weenies.
Weenies.
Traffic.
The exit from I-15 northbound to Pioneer Crossing and American Fork. This is one I was wondering what was going on. This is what's going on. It is closed due to a multi-vehicle crash. Use 5th East or Main Street in Lehigh as your alternate. Flip on the holiday lights with us at the Gateway November 16th at 6:30 p.m. Live entertainment, hot beverages, seasonal cocktails, and tasty bites from Flanker Kitchen and Sporting Club. Prizes, stilt walkers, balloon twisters, and filled with vibrant holiday lighting and new installations to pose. It's the perfect holiday photo op.
All right, thank you. KXRK Provo. We're going to take a break, play a song, and after that song, it's the Boner Recap Game. Easy to play, easy to win. If you heard who won the boner this morning, you know the answer to our question, who won the boner.
Yeah.
If you didn't hear, you could guess, I suppose. It's best if you cheat, though. Go to x96.com and look for the box that says Boner Voting, Boner of the Day, November 15, 2024. Click on there. It'll say winner next to the winning candidate. And what is the prize that we have?
Tickets to Chiados with special guest Hawthorne Heights coming to the Depot on March 26th.
Hawthorne Heights tickets. 877-602-9696 is the number to call. Of course, we're going to play some messages and a song. The song isn't on this day on vinyl, just so you know. Stand by. We got a few minutes here.
I have a list here of 10 ingredients you don't use anymore.
All right.
It's Radio from Hell with another list, because people love a good list. X96.
Gina guessed a can of mushroom soup. That was a good guess.
Not on the list?
Not on the list,
Oh.
no.
Okay.
Used to be every recipe had mushroom soup in it.
First one is Crisco. Nobody uses Crisco anymore. In 1933, Procter & Gamble published a book titled Crisco Recipes for the Jewish Housewife.
Oh, wow.
In an effort to, as the title suggests, get Crisco into Jewish households and using it instead of chicken fat. Now it turns out that it has trans fats and I'm not even sure they make it anymore. It's
Sure they do.
Yeah. Oh, sure they
can
do.
but people don't use it like they used to.
Well, we've all rediscovered lard again.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yes.
Gelatin, Jell-O salads, aspics, other forms of gelatin, really not around much anymore. You don't see people using them. Now, this one I know, Carrie, you'll dispute because you like it, and I used to like it, and I never buy it anymore. Miracle Whip.
We're a Miracle Whip house.
Yeah, no, I never.
You're not a mayonnaise house?
We do both, really.
Oh,
It's-
I used to have both. Now I just mayonnaise. I don't. Miracle Whip is it was supposed to be a salad dressing, which always seemed weird to
There are
me.
times when Miracle Whip is
Margarine.
Nope.
Nobody uses margarine
Haven't
anymore.
used margarine in years.
Can you still get it?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Probably. Gooseberries. I don't recall gooseberries ever being popular particularly.
We used to have a gooseberry bush.
Yeah.
What about snozberries?
They taste like snozberries. They taste like gooseberries.
Thousand Island dressing.
Oh, that is still a thing.
Got to use that on your burgers. That is the
Thousand Island
but
is
it-
still a
much
thing.
maligned sauce.
It used to be very, very popular on salads.
They still offer it at the steak pit at Snowbird.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Of course they do.
That's more of a, for me, it's like a dipping sauce or a hamburger sauce.
Yeah. Iceberg lettuce. I still love iceberg lettuce.
Love it.
A wedge? Do you like a wedge? Because
I
a wedge salad is an
make a wedge.
iceberg.
I make a wedge.
There are
salad.
times when the iceberg lettuce is the only lettuce that will do.
But people, that used to be about the only kind of lettuce you could get.
Yeah.
And now people, we want romaine. And turnips.
They were never popular.
Yes,
when
they
were
were.
turnips popular?
Yes, they were. Turnips were extremely popular at one time. Turnips were a beloved vegetable years ago.
They were never beloved.
Yes, they were.
Who beloved them?
well,
what did you do to a turnip?
It was all we had.
They were, and you know what? They're delicious, actually. If you butter and salt and pepper, you roast it and butter and salt and pepper, they're delicious. Quince.
This was never popular.
Quince there's a quince tree that is on my neighbor's property, but it hangs into our yard. And every once in a while, like one day, Steve Rosenberg from Liberty Heights was walking by, and he went, "Hey, that's a quince tree." And he went and asked him, "Can I harvest all those quince?" And took them. And then our good friend Kari, your golf instructor's wife, she went and picked a bunch of those quince and made quince jelly. They're difficult to deal with. They're hard, and you have to cook the hell out of them.
The people buying margarine now are vegans, apparently.
Oh, that would make sense.
Yeah.
They want a butter, but
They
not
want a butter,
Yeah.
but not butter.
And then the number 10 on the list is acorn flour. Apparently, people used to use acorn flour a
back
lot.
in the 1800s.
I don't know, but they used to use it a lot. But there you go.
Okay, thank you.
We hope you'd enjoyed another list with Radio from Hell on X96.
Drew in Kaysville wanted to be an astronaut.
Kaysville.
Kaysville.
Why did? Well, I won't ask Drew what happened.
Please don't.
Because on this day, 55 years ago, David Bowie released his second studio album, Space Oddity.
A man ahead of his time.
Indeed.
Perhaps he was not of this world.
I don't think he was. And I had the vinyl, so why not? All right, there you go. A little on this day vinyl action. Boner recap, anyone?
I'd say sure if we got somebody there who would like to do it.
Looks like Nick is here.
Oh, Nick, how are you? Nick,
Hello?
pretty
Nick,
good,
honey.
Are you pretty good, Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it short for Nicholas?
It's short for Nikolai.
Nikolai.
Yes.
Russian.
Yep.
Now, Nikolai, if you don't mind, I'll call you Nick. If you can tell me who the winner of the boner voting was, you will win a fine prize as described by Gina Barberi.
Tickets to Chiodos with special guest Hawthorne Heights coming to the Depot on March 26th.
All right. Did you hear the boner candidates earlier, Nick?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to read them. You'll tell me the winner, and you get the prize. I'm sure you'll do well. Number one, our chocolate is not expertly crafted, and we don't use finest ingredients. That's Lindt, the gourmet chocolate brand. Perhaps you've seen it around. I think most grocery stores sell Lindt chocolates these days. Swiss company, they confessed in an attempt to get a lawsuit dismissed that, not all of our chocolate is, put together by fine chocolatiers, and we don't always use the finest ingredients. It just says that on the package. It has been determined that there's high levels of lead and cadmium in some of their chocolate products, and they tried to get through the lawsuit by making that claim, and it backfired on them horribly. I think it's probably because they were Swiss lawyers. They didn't understand the system. And then there's boner candidate number two, Operation Bear Claw. A group of Los Angeles County residents were arrested after they staged bear attacks on their cars in costume in order to receive payouts from their car insurance providers. Yes, Nick is giggling at that.
I love this one. Yeah.
It was very funny. And they like.
And it would have worked too if it weren't for you meddling kids.
They were so confident. They took video of the guy in the bear costume, tearing up the inside of a car, and then showed it to the insurance companies. That's a bear there.
See the bear?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. And then there was boner candidate number three. The truth is out there, and Lauren will find it. Lauren Boebert, back in Congress, reelected to her seat, taking testimony about UFOs or something, and then she tried to find out if there were underwater cities with aliens in them, and doing the good work of the people of Colorado. All right, Nick, who was the winner?
Number three.
You're correct, Nick. You've won the prize. That's pretty sweet, huh?
Awesome. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Have
Hell
a
yeah.
good times. Hang on the line.
Hang
Katie's
on.
going to get some information.
There you
from
go, Nick.
Hell
Thank
yeah.
you very much. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
I am sad that the bear one didn't do better.
I thought the bear one would do
I
better.
enjoyed that.
I think it was third.
It was
actually.
third. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
It was 2 votes between the chocolate and the bear costume.
I thought the chocolate would underperform, honestly, but there you go. I guess a lot of Lindt chocolate fans or former ones.
Not
anyway.
anymore.
All right, boner of the day coming up at the end of the show. 9:50 is when Dave the Flower Guy will be here to tell us who boner of the week is. We do have some big boy news coming up after these messages. Stand by. Underdog Fantasy.
Yeah, I'll be watching the NFL this weekend, and that's the sport I concentrate mostly on. I don't know, it's just the one. I watch a little basketball, but why not win a little money? Underdog Fantasy makes it easy with over 5 million happy players, $2 billion won. Underdog makes it really easy for you to cash in on all the athletes' performances. You want to do a pick'em game? That's cool. Just pick higher or lower on your favorite player stats. And Underdog puts all of the stats for all of the competitions on their website, and it's easy to find them and look them up and compare them. Underdog puts the power to cash out in your hands because now you can either keep riding with your entry or tap the Win Now button and just cash out whenever you want. Every dog deserves a second chance, and with Underdog Rescues, you can get your money back and receive a promo if an early injury causes your entry to lose. And with Underdog's double flex option, you can even link 2 L's and still have your entry be a W. Download the app and sign up with the promo code ALLRED. Deposit now and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That's promo code ALLRED. Must be 18 years of age or older, present in the state where Underdog operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Listen Up Radio from Hell podcast. Listen.
I had something for you, Carrie.
What?
Yeah. Oh, I wrote this down for you. Syphilis is on the rise, increasing 75% since 2017. I know that's your favorite venereal disease. So syphilis is on the rise, and to top it off, there's a shortage of penicillin. So,
Well, we're doomed.
It's the
then.
perfect storm, isn't it?
Yeah.
Speaking of diseases, I sent you this story, Bill. The
vampire.
Yeah.
I was going to save it for tomorrow,
Oh,
but we can
okay.
talk about it now if you want.
What's going on?
Vampire facials.
So they're
Oh, is this back again?
well, but this is bad news. I mean, not. I don't think vampire facials
Well, it's
were
bad
ever
for me. I was going to get one.
were ever a good idea. But New Mexico health officials say new HIV infections have been linked to a salon that performed vampire facials almost 5 years after the business closed. It was called the VIP Spa. I think Bill made this a boner candidate when it first came out.
Seems to me.
Yeah.
that's
Now,
correct.
remind everybody what the vampire facial is.
I mean, it's kind of what it sounds like.
It was a ridiculous trend.
Yeah,
They take your own blood
supposedly.
and then they
So
inject it under the skin of your face.
Yeah, the procedure involves drawing blood from elsewhere in the body, typically the arm, separating out the platelet-rich plasma, pricking facial skin with microneedles, and then applying plasma to the face. I don't understand why anybody ever thought
It's
this was-
ridiculous. These trends happen, and there's no science behind them. It's just,
So the health department says they're not clear how the HIV was transmitted, but my guess is she was just using the same needles over and over again.
that would exactly.
They say that the department, the health department, says that that actually the procedure is not really that dangerous if you follow what
It's stupid.
It's stupid.
if you do what you're supposed to do. Yeah, and I don't see that there's any evidence that it does what it's supposed to. Makes you look better.
I mean, I'm all about new product. I like product.
Product.
What do you mean by that?
Product, like goops and serums and lotions
Have
and
you got a
potions.
closet full of goops and serums?
Yes.
That you
I
use
am a big fan of.
that you use briefly and then stop?
Depends. Some of them I end up loving. I try lots of different things, and some of them I get are my favorites, and others I go, that was dumb. I can't believe I spent money on that. It's not always the most expensive thing.
No.
That's the. So one of the goops and serums I bought recently is this eyebrow serum.
Well, I bought that for my wife.
But I bought the $15. The company's
The
called
knockoff version?
No, the company's called The Ordinary, and their whole thing is, you're being fed a load of crap from these beauty companies. We can make things just as good,
which you are being fed a
for
load of-
cheap.
Yeah.
And my daughter, who has gorgeous skin, that's her. She uses all their products. She
She's
swears-
young, Gina.
She swears by
Gina,
them.
she's under 20.
But so I bought I've been, we talked about this last week, I think, about eyebrow stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And she said they have this, Ordinary has this eyebrow serum. It's working for me. $15.
Now, what is it supposed to do?
It's supposed to encourage
Encourage growth?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not like fake growing hair. It just makes it.
If only you were a male over 50, because eyebrows just tend to take over.
Yeah.
I got one single one here that'll grow out like
just one.
Just one. I mean, they all grow, but there's one that gets real crazy.
If I were to let mine go, look like Andy Rooney.
Do you ever notice how your eyebrow hair?
I can't get mine to stop.
What's the name of that company, Gina?
The Ordinary.
The Ordinary.
Everything is cheap, and it works.
I don't know. Sometimes you pay for, like I pay for good lotion, and I pay. It's that CeraVe
Yeah.
moisturizing lotion. It works really well. It's not greasy, and it's fairly expensive. But it's more expensive than buying a bottle of.
Pinuendo now, brought to you by.
Get ready for Seasons Drinking. Salt Lake's best holiday party happens November 29th through December 28th at the Ruin on Main. Enjoy a holiday wonderland at Ruin with seasonal bar featuring a takeover from the Remora crew. Learn more at ruinslc.com.
In their quest to find a host who will generate buzz but not blow up in their faces, Academy Awards organizers have traded a current late-night comedian, Jimmy Kimmel, for a former one, Conan O'Brien. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences said on Friday that Mr. O'Brien would serve as MC for the 97th Oscars ceremony, which will be broadcast on ABC in March. O'Brien left late-night television in 2021 and has since focused on a popular podcast, Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, which is very funny most of the time, and has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger.
Well, Andy sold his library to Sirius XM.
Yeah,
and they have a whole channel.
Right.
So he's doing fine.
He's on Sirius as well.
Yeah.
He has focused on the podcast and a spin-off travel show, which was really quite good.
Yes.
Called Conan O'Brien Must Go. I think they did 4 episodes. I think more to come.
They did a few. Yeah, this recent season was 4 episodes.
America demanded it, and now it's happening. Taco Bell's new Cheesy Chalupa Supreme, O'Brien said in a statement. And in other news, I'm hosting the Oscars. O'Brien checked a number of boxes for the Academy since he has never hosted the Oscars before. He will bring a certain freshness to the show, which can come off as old-fashioned at best and out of touch at worst. At the same time, O'Brien is a safe choice, a seasoned pro whose style has been honed over decades and who has successfully hosted other award shows, including the Emmys in the past. Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. I know I get up every Thanksgiving Day to watch the parade. Coming in just 2 weeks. That means the lineup of performers has been firmed up, completed. So far, there's a stellar roster of celebrities set to attend the annual event, airing on NBC with today's Savannah Guthrie, Hoda Kotb, and Al Roker, of course, hosting. The parade starts at 8:30 in the morning Eastern time, so I get up pretty dang early. Newly announced performers, Jennifer Hudson, Kylie Minogue, Billy Porter, Cynthia Erivo, she's in Wicked, of course, and Mary's Cole Escola. Here's some of the other performers, Jimmy Fallon and the Roots. These have already been announced. Bishop Briggs, the Temptations.
Thanksgiving is one of those days where we don't leave the TV on all day, ever. Like, we turn it on for a purpose. But Thanksgiving, you kind of turn it on for the parade, and then you just leave football on in the background the rest of the day.
T-Pain is one of the performers, and Broadway performances, which I always think is weird when they do musical numbers in front of Macy's. Cast of Death Becomes Her, Hell's Kitchen, The Outsiders, and, of course, the Rockettes will be there. Oh, boy. General Motors is recalling nearly 462,000 pickup trucks and big SUVs with diesel engines because the rear wheels can lock up.
Oops.
And that's not good when you're going down the freeway.
No.
The recall in the U.S. covers certain Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierra 1500, 2500, and 3500 pickup trucks from the years 2020 through 2022. Also included are the 2021 Cadillac Escalade, the GMC Yukon, and the Chevy Tahoe and the Suburban. You should, if you have one of those, you'll get a recall notice in the mail or check with your dealer. The deadly E. coli outbreak linked to McDonald's has sickened over 100 people now.
Oh.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said 104 people across 14 states have fallen ill as of November 13. The slivered onions served on the quarter pounders were identified as the likely source of the outbreak. Illnesses started between September 12th and October 21st. Of the 98 people with data available, 34 were hospitalized. 4 developed hemolytic uremic syndrome, which is a serious condition that can lead to kidney failure. An older adult in Colorado died as a result of the outbreak. The CDC presumes that there is a higher number of sick people in the outbreak than is being reported because a lot of them have just mild symptoms, flu-like symptoms of it. James Bond.
Yes.
An interview with the James Bond producer Barbara Broccoli says the actor who takes on the role will offer something new and different. They're not saying who it is.
Not saying who. I don't even think they know yet.
They may not. The next actor taking on James Bond will be in his 30s. That's what we would like. Could be of any race, said Barbara Broccoli. In a new interview with the AP, Broccoli teased what we might be able to expect from the much-anticipated reveal of the next 007. It will be a man. He will be in his 30s. Whiteness is not a given.
But that's something, because there was some thought maybe they'd have a woman or something.
It will be a man. Whiteness is not a given. The actor will also need to be contracted to at least 10 years' worth of Bond films.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Broccoli,
although it's steady work, I mean.
It's true.
Yeah. Whoever they pick will have to deal with a backlash similar to what was experienced by Daniel Craig, who was criticized. He was criticized at the beginning.
Yeah, before he did it.
Before his first appearance in Casino Royale. She refers to it as the anti-Daniel Craig nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big decision for an actor to make, she said.
I mean,
she's right.
In my heart, it's Roger Moore. Because it's the Bond I grew up with.
Roger
Moore. But my favorite Bond is Daniel Craig. He did it. I loved those movies. They're great.
Well, I mean, everybody. I remember the backlash when they cast him, and I was there, like, show me what you got. It's the same with Heath Ledger with the Joker.
Yeah.
Everyone is very opinionated. Michael Keaton as Batman was another one that was really controversial.
Rod Stewart says he's considering selling his collection of sports cars because there are too many potholes near his home.
That's why.
In Essex, Harlow, Essex.
He's gone out there himself and filled potholes. There are photos of Rod Stewart out there.
Apparently he's not doing a very good job.
It's ruining my iconic Italian cars. I absolutely love and adore them. This post is for my fans. Thank you, as you are the sole reason I own them. And to the trolls, don't bother. I never read the comments. He says that, but it's ruining the undercarriage of all of his cars. I can't drive my cars anymore. Let's see. There's a replacement that's been picked for Hoda Kotb. She's leaving the Today Show. And it's veteran NBC host and news anchor Craig Melvin.
Never heard of him.
He's a veteran of NBC, Gina. He's going to replace Hoda Kotb in the 7 to 9 a.m. hours of today. He's a familiar face on Today Show, it says. Currently hosts the show's third hour.
See, we're working when it's on, so
but
that's
he's
why
not.
you haven't seen it.
He can't be. He can't be a host. I mean, she has such a big. He doesn't have a big smile like she does.
Okay.
Big smiley face. He's okay, but
I don't.
But look at those two smiles.
Yeah.
Her smile is radiant. His is like.
You want a megawatt? Is that what you want, a megawatt smile?
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know how he holds his wine either.
Yeah, that's the question.
Is he going to be drinking on the show? The piano that was heard on Derek and the Dominoes song Layla. And there's a lot of piano in that song. And other classic rock staples is going to hit the auction blocks this week. Eaton and Brennan Auctions Hit Factory Collection Auction features items and memorabilia from the famed New York studio, most notably the Baldwin Grand Piano, featured on the 1970 hit Layla. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who, I'm not sure who was playing it. Let's see, does it say here? I don't know. It was produced by Tom Dowd, legendary producer, but I don't see the name of the person who played the piano. And then finally this, Grillo, the Grillo Company.
I don't know the Grillo Company. I'm sorry, should I know that?
Pickles.
Oh.
Pickles.
Grillo Pickles.
I'm not familiar with
neither.
Grillo Pickles.
Well, you start looking around.
Okay,
You'll see
I
them.
mean, I like a pickle.
November 14th was National Pickle Day. And one pickle brand is making sure that the beloved briny snack is integrated into every nook and cranny of our lives in honor of Pickle Day. Grillo's Pickles teamed up with Boca to launch a limited edition cucumber dill-flavored toothpaste. Dill pickle-flavored toothpaste. Pickle toothpaste. I don't think I'd like that.
I don't.
No.
Now, see, I'm looking at the label for Grillo's pickles, and I've not seen them.
If you look in the, like at Harmon's, they have the little packets of Grillo pickles in the checkout line. You know, you can buy a little packet of just a snack of pickles. Grillo.
All right.
That's it.
Weather.
Okay, so it is 39 right now. We're going to have a high of 54 today. That's before the rain gets here, mainly after 5 p.m., 80% chance of that. And we could get cold enough overnight that turns over to snow with some rain-snow mix tomorrow. Looks clear for Sunday, 43 for a high. Next round of storms comes in Sunday night into Monday. High of 42 on Monday. Poplar Street Pub is the place for hockey. Every NHL game will be televised, featuring daily drink and food specials like their animal-style sliders. Poplar Street Pub within close proximity to the Delta Center. Information at poplarstreetpub.com.
Well, I take it back. It really wasn't much better then than it is today. It's, about the same nonsense.
I enjoy it.
I did like the line, we have a lot of diversity thanks to the Chinese restaurant in town.
I don't know. I think we explore, what is it, the Voice of Mona, KVOM?
Yeah, we
I forgot
about that.
about
That's
that.
something that we could explore, definitely.
You're right. KVOM.
What is it? KVOM?
Yeah, the Voice of Mona.
Voice of Mona.
KVO. Like KVOG, the Voice of Ogden.
Mm-hmm.
KSL, K Salt
There is
Lake.
a KVOM in Arkansas.
Oh.
But we could steal it.
KNEU,
What
Voice
town
of
in-
Northeastern Utah.
What town in Arkansas?
What town in Arkansas? Let's see.
No, wait, there can't. Arkansas has K? There'd be
Oh, yeah.
W's.
It'd be W's in Arkansas.
Although
wouldn't it?
I
Or
think
are they on the other side of the...
KVOM 101.17, the voice of Morrilton, Arkansas.
Morrilton.
Morrilton.
I thought that was a fake town.
No.
That was in the show Moral Oral.
Let's see what the staff is.
Yeah, who works at KVOM?
Eric Tyler, he's the news and sports director.
Of course he is.
Kenny Wall in the mornings. Oh,
Yeah, these are all their real names, I'm sure.
Kenny Wall.
There's a lot of news in Morrilton, I'm sure.
Very moral news.
Is Morrilton close to anything? Like a big city?
I don't know.
Morrilton, Arkansas.
We get Denver a weekend show or something.
Yeah, I mean there are things I'd forgotten that I'd
see. This is perfect. Here's the local events in Morrilton.
Local events in Morrilton. Okay.
It's the Morrilton Budget and Fire meeting. The City Council Budget and Fire Committees.
All right. Okay.
Oh, they're meeting today at 5 at City Hall.
Well, we don't have time to get there.
Oh, we could hop a plane.
What else?
Wednesday, it's the Conway County Quorum Court Grievance Committee is going to meet.
Say that again.
Court grievances.
Hold it. Say it again.
Conway County Quorum Court Grievance Committee is meeting tomorrow at 5 p.m. at the courthouse in Morrilton.
Now, there's another setup for you. A court grievance committee.
Then this weekend?
That the mayor could chair.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who's coming to town?
To Morrilton? Who?
The Popovich Comedy Pet Theater.
Oh,
The Trained Cats?
Yeah.
Our favorite Vegas show?
The Popovich. Trained Cats.
Our favorite Vegas show?
I was so disappointed last time I was in Vegas with my family. They didn't really believe me about this, and I said we're going to go see the Popovich, and they were closed. They were out on tour.
They're on
in
tour.
Morrilton.
They're hitting all the big cities.
And then it's
the Trained Cat Show. I loved that.
It's the Union Valley Baptist Church free soup lunch is this weekend too.
Free soup.
Okay, well,
I made some soup, Daddy.
Yep, we got.
And we're giving it away.
Now, come on, don't give it away.
Okay,
Come on.
Giving you
Listen.
ideas here.
I'm sorry.
Listen, this is giving me some fodder to
Okay.
write,
Okay.
and if you
Good.
start
All right.
saying it,
I won't. Text question: how old is Denver? Is he 13 or 33?
About.
Yeah.
It depends.
Yeah, about.
It depends.
Depends on what is required of the sketch.
In that one, he's pretty young, but sometimes he's 33.
I'm so happy that Morrilton is getting the trained cat show this weekend.
Their website, the radio station website, has area obituaries.
Oh, really?
This is great.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to give me stuff.
Oh, they got the River Valley Beef Conference coming up.
The beef conference.
Pesticide applicator training. No, this is a gold.
Oh, there is a year's worth of sketches right there.
Oh, Rami Mac Henley passed away.
Oh, no.
Pesticide applicator training.
Terry, they have a trading time show.
Oh, really? Tradio?
Yeah.
This is awesome.
I'm Denver Criddle with Tradio.
Yep.
Matilda the cat lady is calling in.
Carrie.
Oh, sorry. Make it the poodle lady. Sorry.
Oh, you can do it. I'll forget it.
Hey.
Jaleesa Breslin has joined us here in the studio on her annual visit to X96 Radio from Hell. She's marketing director?
Yeah, that's right.
For the Gateway.
Yeah.
And it's time once again for lights on, Christmas lights on at the Gateway. And we were just talking off the air. Temple Square has not done the big light show that they do for a while, and it's going to be a while yet before they do it.
Yeah, I think they're delayed 2 years. So really this Lights On event at the Gateway, it's the true, Christmas light holiday season kickoff.
So make a new family tradition. If your tradition was to go to the Temple Square, come to the Gateway.
But I know a lot of people have been coming to the Gateway Lights On for several years now. It's gotten bigger and bigger, you say?
Yeah, it's grown a lot. We're definitely non-traditional Christmas, so we love like the pink neons, greens, blues, whites. Definitely come on down. It's a free event tomorrow on Saturday, from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m.
So what? So it's from 6:30 to 8:30. What time do they spark the whole thing up?
We will flip the switch on at 8 p.m. tomorrow.
8 p.m.
But come early, though.
What? Well, there are other things going on, right?
Yeah, so we encourage people to come early. Parking is free, but we will have lots of activities for the kids, free activities by Discovery Gateway. We will have food. We would have balloon twisters, seasonal cocktails for those 21 and older. Hot cocoa. We would have live music by Changing Lanes. It's going to be playing on the Plaza stage as well. So lots of fun for the whole family.
Okay, and then who gets to flip the switch and turn the lights on? Is it a 1 year it was Kerry Jackson?
I did it once. Yeah.
Who's doing it this time? Do you know?
It's going to be no one super special, but the tree itself is going to be special.
Tell us about the tree.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 30-foot tree with lots of lights. It just makes the perfect background for a Christmas card, I would say.
Is the hotel open there?
Yes.
At the Union Station?
Yeah, the Asher Adams Hotel actually just opened last week.
Oh,
We're
I wanna
very
go see
excited about that.
Yeah, I understand it's pretty phenomenal.
Well, this would be an opportunity then.
Yeah, they also will have a Christmas tree inside the lobby. So it's a perfect opportunity to kind of come down and see what that build out looks like.
I think they should have you flip the switch.
Oh, thank you. That makes me feel real special.
It's sort of your party. I
guess I should say that it's going to be someone special doing that then.
Yes, there will be someone very special doing it. It'll be Ms. Breslin. Anything else we need to know about it? There are stilt walkers, it says here.
Or other things going on at the Gateway? What? Maybe new stores, new displays, new.
Yeah, we have a lot of restaurants, a lot of bars. So the party continues even after our event is over with all of our tenants. You can go to Flanker, you can go to Hall Pass. We have a lot of, we have the planetarium, the Megaplex, lots of entertainment to come downtown. So really, you have everything you need.
You got the Pearl Milk Tea Club.
Yeah.
Boba tea. You got Dr. Volt's and the Nerd Store just opened down there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's great. So it should be nice. This is tomorrow night at the Gateway. If you can take pictures and bring the kids and have a lot of fun and eat and drink and have music. And the lights go on at 8 o'clock specifically, but everything starts kind
At
of
6:30.
6:30.
Yes.
All right.
So come in early.
Well, it's a good time.
Yeah. It sounds lovely. Thanks for joining us, and I think you'll have a lot of people.
Thank you. We're excited. We're excited to bring everyone together.
You can just go to
At thegateway.com for
at
more info.
thegateway.com.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, we will take a break, play a song for you, and then we got Boner of the Week coming up after these. Stand by.
Something very important is happening this week.
What? Prove it.
This week?
A movie that I have been waiting for years, actually.
There are actually 2 movies, aren't there? Isn't there a documentary also
yes.
that's coming out
Yeah.
about her?
Yeah. So the movie I'm talking about, and Bill could tell where I was going with this, is Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
Wow.
And there is a Judy Blume documentary that's...
I think it's being released at the same time.
Yeah.
Judy Blume being the author of...
Yes.
Well, is this movie going to be able to be shown everywhere? Because
some controversy about that.
they've been banning that book in some Republican states
for decades.
I heard Judy Blume interviewed yesterday about all that.
Mm-hmm.
And she actually lives in Florida.
Oh, well, there's first problem.
And if you don't know, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, is a book about an 11-year-old girl, Margaret.
Puberty.
Who's and the talk of school is, did you get it yet? I haven't got it yet. Did you get it? Your period.
Did you get that thing I sent you?
Yeah. And hear what I said there. She's 11.
Mm-hmm.
That is below the age that Ron DeSantis thinks it's okay to talk about these things in school with kids. But this movie has a 96% rating on Rotten Tomatoes and a 100% audience score. Now, that's probably because all of the people that have seen it are people like me that have a great love of this book. But it's so nice to hear that it's...
Did your mother know you were reading that book?
Yes.
You sure? Did she know what was in it?
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
But Judy Blume, her books were so important to me when I was a kid. I mean, I devoured them.
What other things did she write that were...
She had...
'cause I've heard of this one.
Oh, she had a bunch. She had Blubber, which was a book about a girl who was overweight. And her dealing with that. She had Forever, which was a little older teenage story about, we love each other, we're going to be together forever. And then, maybe, that's probably not. But there's some teen sex in that. There's, she's written some adult books, too.
So she likes writing about teenagers having sex.
Well,
huh?
she just writes about growing up teenagers, problems kids have. I absolutely loved her books. I don't love her adult books so much. She had one that came out a few years ago that I didn't care for, but her teen books were part of my... she was the first author that I slavishly followed as a kid. Like, anytime a new book of hers would come out, I would get it instantly.
Now, according to Guy in the chat room, Judy Blume is one of the film's producers, and she claims it is better than the book.
Oh, so there are things in it. So she wrote it. It came out in 1970.
Yes.
So by the time I read it, it had probably been out, I don't know, 10
Forever.
years or something. And in the book, they talk about, you guys aren't going to care about this, but period products have changed a lot over the years.
What do you mean I wouldn't care about that?
And in the book, they talk about, and she never updated this. She just, you know, it has remained the same. She talked about how you used to have to wear a garter belt.
A belt.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
To hold it in place.
Your sanitary napkin. It was always embarrassing. My mother would send me to the store to buy buy her Tampax. Tampax.
But
Kotex. That's what it was.
yeah.
Kotex.
But I was surprised because I didn't know that. I thought, it was always just the thing that stuck to your underwear. I didn't know that girls actually had to wear a belt around under their clothes.
I remember the ads for them. I remember the TV commercials. No more belts.
Yeah.
It was we have wings now.
Mm-hmm.
But she did. She hasn't ever changed her books, the content of them. But she's added things like in Forever, the book about the teen sex. In the book, the girl goes to get on the pill because she's trying to be responsible. Judy Blume added a little note to the beginning of the book saying, "I'm not changing the content of the book, but dear reader, I would like you to know if I was writing this book today, I would tell you not only is it important to be on the pill, but to use a condom
as well
for sexually transmitted infections."
To prevent them, not for them.
No, not
wear a condom for sexually transmitted
prevent
infections.
them from happening. But she's been super influential and helpful, I think, for kids in their tween and teen.
I keep thinking about Kotex, and I remember seeing those belts for them, and my mother had them, and that reminds me of a scene. I think it's a movie called The Fortune, and Jack Nicholson is talking about my mother used to send me to the store to buy her Kotex, but so I wouldn't be embarrassed. She told me they were little mousy beds.
Well, it just doesn't make any sense.
Little mousy beds, little beds for mice.
But I'm excited, and I do not venture to the theater very often.
Anybody we
anymore.
know in it?
Yeah, Rachel McAdams is in
that's
it.
right.
Kathy Bates is in it.
Kathy Bates is great. She plays the 12-year-old girl. She's
she
really
plays
incredible.
the grandma. The grandmother plays a really pivotal role in it. So the other thing about Margaret, the reason it's Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. She grows up in a multi
generational?
No, but like her mom is Jewish and her dad's Christian, or the other way around. So she has this push and pull of, I don't know what my religion is. I don't know. She got a lot of questions for God about what's going on.
Well, I can see why Ron DeSantis would want all of her books banned.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope you're not planning on taking your children to see this movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
What? Shocking. That is shocking. Exposing kids to that kind of stuff.
It's wonderful.
That really happens in life.
Yeah. I love her.
Well, I'm very excited for you.
Yeah, I doesn't really...
Carrie, you understand with reading things as a kid and then seeing them realized.
That's why I'm excited for you. But just as you will not see the ones that were written for me as a kid that are now being made into movies, I will not see the one that because, well...
Well, sometimes I get the menstrual cramps real hard.
We're
in the same boat.
Yeah.
All of this stuff that was written when I was a kid now being made into movies.
And you
documentary about Stan Lee,
Yeah.
We're in this. We understand each other.
We're there. It's just kind of different.
Different sort of
subject
angle.
matter.
Not a lot of menstruating in the Marvel universe.
There should be.
I mean, there is. They just don't talk about it. Right?
I think Sue Storm may have informed Reed Richards that she was late.
Uh-oh.
Oh, well. Yeah.
She should have listened to Judy Blume and used 2 forms of birth control, and that wouldn't have happened.
Exactly. But then we wouldn't have the Power Pack comic.
There's a bright side to everything,
See?
Isn't there?
Yes. on this day.
Mm-hmm.
In 1982, The Cure released the single Let's Go to Bed. All right, 9:51, and it's Boner of the Week time.
It's sponsored, too. It's time for holiday shopping. That means stopping by Cabin Fever. Since 1982, it's Cabin Fever, located in the heart of Trolley Square. Cabin Fever, so much more than a card store.
Nice to have Cabin Fever back on the air. That's
Good
nice,
people.
nice. Dave is good people, too. Dave the Flower Guy is here. Hi, David.
Hello.
What's up with you? Are you doing anything special this weekend?
Not this weekend, but Monday I got a dentist appointment.
He's got a dentist appointment.
Oh, that'll be fun. It's always a pleasure to go to the dentist, isn't it? No, not really. Dave sells flowers in town. It's too cold right now, though.
Yeah.
So
I have to wait until the afternoon.
Afternoon flowers.
So you'll see Dave this afternoon around town with some flowers and on his scooter. Are you ready to go and select Boner of the Week?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Boner candidate number 1 from Monday. Some people now think this is okay. Locally, racial slurs found written on a wall and outside of Skyline High School. And then nationally, a lot of people of color received text messages ordering black people to report to plantations for slavery. Guess this is okay now in our current times. Boner candidate number 2 from Tuesday. You Democratic governors should just get out of the way. That's what Tom Homan, who's been put in charge of immigration by Trump, said. Democratic governors, get out of the way. We're going to start deporting people. We're going to start detaining them. That's going to be the business. Detain them. And then maybe we'll throw them out of the country. Or maybe we'll just keep them in these private jails so that the private prison companies can make some money. Then Boner candidate number 3 from Wednesday, more college football BS. People were outraged about the LSU Tiger and bringing that Tiger onto the field. And it was so important to Governor Landry to have that done. Boner candidate number 4 from Thursday. I am back where I came from. This is up in Idaho, a Republican legislator there getting into a tiff with a Native American woman who he was running against. And she said, there's a lot of racism here in Idaho. That's BS, said the Republican legislator. BS, no racism in Idaho. There's none at all. And you ought to go back where you came from, ma'am. I'm Nez Pierce. My people have lived in this central Idaho area for centuries. I am back where I came from. And then there was Boner candidate number 4 from today. The truth is out there, and Lauren Boebert will find it. She's doing the important work, back there in Congress for her Colorado constituents. She's sure that there are underwater cities inhabited by aliens and hybrids, and she's going to get to the bottom of that. All right, Dave, which one was the worst?
Number 2.
Number 2, you Democratic governors should just get out of the way.
There you go. Thank you, David.
Going to solve that illegal immigration, you bet.
Boner of the Week. All right, well, let's do the promo and crawl toward the exits.
I need something to look forward to.
Well, Thanksgiving's coming up.
And not long after that, it's Christmas.
Yeah, it's not quite doing it.
How about we'll be back here to do the Radio from Hell show on Monday morning?
That's it. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Totally pumped. Monday's Radio from Hell show here on X96.
Why don't you sound excited, Bill?
I am. I said totally pumped.
Mm-hmm.
Exciting.
You can't just say that.
You have to feel it. I gotta feel it. I gotta feel it when you say it, Bill.
Right.
The words are meaningless.
Well, let me do it again. Let me do that line again, and we'll see if Katie wants to put it on. Let's see if I can be totally pumped this time. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Totally pumped.
Yeah.
No, I can't. It's not there.
My job as always, Katie. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
Utah by 5. Really.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me.
Fun Bubbles is next.